Hi, everyone. It's Heidi back with another live stream. This is the finale that we're going to be talking about tonight of House of the Dragon. And as you can see right now, it's just me. It's little old me. But anyway, I didn't want to keep you guys waiting too long. So I thought I would come on. Alicia's going to be here. We have Alicia tonight. We have what's happened is Rebecca is sick, unfortunately. And one of our surprise guests is also sick. So it's just going to be Alicia, myself. Tatiana's going to be here any minute. And then we're going to have Justin Thomas is going to join us just for, to fill in a little bit because Alicia's a little under the weather as well. And it's just been like, this is what happens when you get into the fall season and everyone gets run down and the change of weather and everything. So I just want to say hi to everybody. This is so funny. It's like I haven't done this in ages, just been by myself, just talking to you guys. So to start with, I want to say hi to Peter. So Peter was asking if Tim was going to be on tonight. No, he's not. But we will have Tim on we're going to do a grand finale. Oh, and here's my girl. She is here. Tatiana, I was all by myself. It was so weird.
I'm sorry, my precious.
That's fine. No, Alicia's here. She just she's going to join us tonight. I think I didn't even have a chance to tell you that
Here.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, nothing. This is just my phone.
Okay. Rebecca, so Rebecca's sick, so she can't join us tonight.
Oh.
Yeah. She's not, I told her to take it easy. And then Alicia's here, but she's a little under the weather. So Justin's going to pop in just to help us a little bit tonight. I just
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, how are you? How's your week gone?
Hectic. Surprisingly, after months of inertia, it has been a hectic week. I finally started working at a job that pays me.
And how's it going? How's the job going?
It's good. It's tiring, but it's good. I'm working at Starbucks, at the nearby Starbucks. So I'm going to steal all their recipes and make them better.
Yes. And then also, do you want to tell everyone you're working on a costume?
It's not a costume. It's a couture gown.
Okay. Well, couture gown. Sorry, I thought it was a costume. Okay, sorry, apologies.
I think it's a flag. It's actually the skirt part of the dress, like right here.
Beautiful.
This. Yeah, it's probably the most complex thing I've ever done. So many panels, like so many fucking panels.
Anyway, I was just saying hello to everybody. Do you want to say hello? I just got to Peter only. Do you want to say hi to everybody? We've got a small group coming in so far, and then hopefully we'll build up a little bit.
Hello, Peter Griffin. Oh. Ladivi is. I hope I'm saying that right, or is it Ladivi?
I think it's lady. I think that's what Alicia told me. It's lady.
Lady. Sub or sub. This is a V, right? AK. I will be waiting for you. Hello, natural selection. Day. I love saying that. Kyle Kashnak.
Natural, of course. You're always welcome. Just do you just message me and you can totally come on the show. We'd love to have you. Wait, actually, if you want natural selection, you could come on we're going to do a spectacular finale. You can come on the finale show with us. We're going to try to have back a bunch of the guests that we had all through the season, right?
Yes. Oh, here.
Oh, hey, Puzzle Cat. She says, hello, ladies from Colorado.
Oh, some Puzzle
Or hey,
Cat.
ladies from Colorado. We're not from Colorado. Did you finish saying hi to everybody?
No. Okay, so we got Jamario Giles. 30 Days is here. Hey, 30 Days!
What up?
Like you said, we got Puzzle Cat. Hey, Puzzle Cat. My uncle used to live in Colorado, but he moved to Utah recently. So there's that info. Thank you, Kosnog. I mean, since this episode was
your tiara. I don't have my tiara.
Rhaenyra's coronation.
Here, I'm gonna get my tiara. I'll be right back.
You do that, girl. Since it was like the rightful coronation, I thought I
always have it on hand just in case. You never know when you need to be a queen.
Well, of course, we
It
all
doesn't stay
do.
on very well, but
I just let's put it like to the side like Joffrey and pin it.
I need a comb or something for it so it doesn't fall off my head.
Probably.
Yeah, I need to. There,
I
I'll just
think
sort of
I've
stick it
done
on
it
there for now.
before.
Yeah, we'll just say hi to people as they come in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have. Well, Tatiana and I have these from when we do Game of Queens, but it's sort of like right now we're the queens here. So,
Yeah,
and
we're
showtime.
Yes. Oh my god.
It's always tiara time.
Oh sure.
Queen of the North. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, Justin's going to pop in, and so hey, why don't you and I just have a quick chat about what we think of what? Oh, sorry, before we do that, why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you're all about and all that? And then
Sure. I am Tatiana Melendez for those who don't know me. Yeah, Carl. It is now the princess and the queen. Your guess is on who's the queen.
I'm like Helena.
Oh my god, I love what you did with your crown. It's like
yeah,
perfect.
I'm just pulling my hair through it so that I
It,
kind of
it
feel
just
like
adds volume.
I don't know if you know the actress. She's from Best in Show. Like she's blonde. She's sort of my spirit actor. She's actually she just won an Academy Award for like something about Lotus or whatever. Not an Academy Award.
White Jennifer Coolidge.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of like I just saw her in this show called The Watcher, and I'm like, she's like my spirit person. Like she's, I just adore her.
Oh, she is a gay icon. She's like one of the biggest gay icons.
She's so great. Yeah,
Amazing.
Anyway, in the Watcher, she's hilarious. She plays like a real estate agent, and she's so funny in that movie.
Yeah, I've only watched a few episodes of White Lotus, and she's great in it. Is she because she's usually like very campy, very over the top. If she's I think the most famous as Stifler's mom from American Pie.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it didn't get the greatest reviews, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I love the cast. The cast was amazing, but some people didn't like it. Hey, Fandom.
Fandom.
He was here last week. Anyway, so so Tatiana's, the beautiful Tatiana Melendez, and my mom, she was a nymphomaniac. Huh? Is that the name of the movie she was in?
Good for you.
Is this true?
I mean, go off, I guess.
Yeah. Be you.
Just don't hurt yourself.
That didn't come out the way she meant. She's a butterface, but her body is banging.
Sure. I am so confused right now, but sure.
I died when Jennifer said that in White Lotus. Oh, that's from White Lotus. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was worried about Natural. I was a little bit worried there for a moment. Hi, Sabino. Stifler's mom, that is. Oh, okay. Yes.
Oh, yeah. She's amazing.
So fun. Okay, so anyway, we're here to talk about House of the Dragon. We're going to talk about this episode. We can talk a little bit about the season if you want as well.
Sure.
And then, but we will have, we're going to have, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have a spectacular live stream, and that we'll be able to kind of go over everything when that happens. I'm just getting comfortable. Okay, so Tatiana. Why don't you just give me your first impressions of the episode? The episode. I got myself all excited there.
I liked it a lot. It's not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I still think like episode 8 and 5 are still like my top 2. But I really liked it. It was very visceral, like almost all the way through.
Yeah,
because
totally.
Like that the birthing scene, that was Jesus Christ. And then the ending. I mean, I knew the ending was coming. I knew it was coming, but I was like, I kept saying, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go there. Don't, nope. And then it happened. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I read the book, but I couldn't remember what happened. I said to Jack, okay, well, first thing I thought was I didn't know if they were going to go and do that part, like this episode. I thought maybe they would wait until next season. But then I was like, what happens again? Like, I couldn't remember what had happened to him. So my crown's already falling off. This is terrible. Hi, Trevor.
Oh, hi, Trevor.
So I couldn't
And
remember what
Carla.
happened. So in a way, it was good because then like I wasn't spoiled. But when it happened, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's awful. So
yeah, I mean, the change they did over it was interesting. We'll get into it because they did change it a slight bit, but it was like a slight important bit for character, especially Aven's character. But
Puzzle. Well, we weren't going to specifically talk about costumes, but we can talk about them if you want. Like we can talk about those costumes after.
Yeah, I will say if he had to go, at least he went out with some swag.
He did.
He had the drip on.
He did.
So he looked good. He looked good while going out. So it's
yeah. I wasn't crazy about their hair though this season. I wasn't like, I don't know, there's been like 3 actors. I wasn't crazy about their hair. I don't know what was the deal with the hair.
I think the hair just looked very modern.
Yeah. And like Harlan, and it would be one thing like because Harwin, he had like curly hair.
Like wavy hair.
Like wavy hair. So it's like, okay, I mean, I guess they had a bit of a wave, but yeah, it just looked way too modern for me.
Yeah, like the haircuts were not it, especially Jace. I mean, I love Jace. Yeah. He cute, but his hair looks like 2010s Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Like that baby phase of his hair.
Yeah, so other people are kind of agreeing. Hey, Carla. Actually, Tatiana, I noticed you're sort of wearing Targ colors tonight.
Yeah, again, this is not just a skirt. Mm-hmm. This is also my official flag for the Blacks for now while I finish it.
Yeah. I just want to let everyone know I think I only have 1 glass of wine. So it's not going to be hammer time here on the channel.
I only have water because I have to get back to working on that dress. The runway is on Saturday, so it must be done. Yeah. I've only finished the skirt. So
Jason Elliott much richer than Rhaenyra, and this is supposed to be the height as Targaryen, but the Nyra and Damon using same cloth. Yeah, no, I know. Okay. Yeah. So there is definitely I think I'm going to talk about that in a video. There's definitely some people who have been wearing the same clothes. Like I was like, Corlys Velaryon has been missing for 5 years, right? He comes back, he's in his bed, he goes back, he goes to court or what have you, like on Dragonstone. And I'm like, dude, that's your outfit from 5 years ago. Like you're like the richest man in like the 7 Kingdoms or something, aren't you? Like, why are you wearing that outfit? And it didn't even look like it fit him. Like, I think, did he lose weight? I thought
maybe he was sick.
Well, this is what I was thinking. Maybe they padded him up a bit, like, because I did notice he had a bit of a tummy, and I don't think Stephen Toussaint has a tummy. So maybe they did pat him a little bit, and then when he was sick, they made him kind of more wine. I came for the costumes. I stayed for the alcoholism. I know, isn't this terrible? I've been a total drunk this season.
I'm the measure. I'm
more so than usual.
Has to like this.
He's a guy who's wearing the same thing for years. No, I know. No, that's true. And actually, Damon at one point, like, and it's funny. I didn't even notice these things. As people on Twitter, people were like, "Why is Damon wearing the same outfit he wore to?" Like he was wearing the same outfit in Dragonstone that I think he wore to Rhaenyra's mom's funeral. And
yeah,
and so yeah, I was just like, there was some weird choices there. Like in Game of Thrones, everyone just wears one outfit the entire season, so that's pretty acceptable. But this is supposed to be at the height of power. I mean, Cersei didn't, but
I mean, Cersei had a few changes.
She had a few changes. I
mean, at least in the first few seasons, then she just gave up entirely.
He did, exactly. Jorah, I know. Jorah did no. Actually, he did get a new costume in season 8. He went to Old Town and he got a new outfit. But you're right. He did pretty much wear the same shirt. I think that they cleaned it though, because I noticed there's this one point, like he's wearing this cracked me right up because they didn't have as much money back then, right? So they go to where is it? It's before they go to Marine. Where is it that Dany wears that beautiful like blue gown with the gold belt? It's like a pale blue gown. Do you remember that?
Which one?
her very first one. Like they arrive and she's like,
Oh, you mean the coat, you mean Cersei in Winterfell?
no, sorry, Danny. Remember they're in the desert in the red waste, and then they arrive at that place and they beg them to
Oh,
let
in
them
Car.
in.
I mean,
In
she has
Card,
the
yeah, sorry.
blue filigree
So,
dress.
so she wears that blue dress, but so what they do is they take, it made me laugh. So Jorah's costume, all they did with it is they ironed the shirt and closed it, and then and then I think they pressed that blue scarf he normally wears, like just ratty around his neck. They took it and they pressed it and made it look really nice. It kind of reminded me, like, Harrison Ford in Star Wars. He wears the same outfit for the entire movie, right? And at the end of the movie for the ceremony, I think all they did is button up.
They just did, but no, but like cleaned the shirt. That's it.
And they washed and pressed the shirt. Exactly. So that's why I was laughing. I was like, I always imagine like the servants took his clothes, washed them for him, pressed them for him, and then he wore them to that little garden party that Damon wore that blue dress in.
At least Luke had like a nice jacket for the ceremony.
He got a jacket. I know he got a jacket, but Harrison Ford.
He had a baggy jacket. He had a
beautiful jacket. I know. Anyway, so do you want to say anything else about the costumes before Alicia comes back, or
I like
Rhaenyra's dress.
I like Rhaenyra's queen dress. I mean, she looked banging. Like with the like she wore that crown well.
Yeah. Not my favorite crown. Not my favorite crown, but it looked good on her.
Sure. I mean, it's better than Aegon's.
Aegon's crown, by the way, I found a picture of it, a close-up of it, and it looked like styrofoam, like, and then like, someone said Warbler, but apparently someone on Twitter again said that the crowns were 3D printed.
Yeah.
So that's why they don't look like metal. You can't I mean, I don't think you can 3D print with metal yet. I think it's still everything's plastic, right? Yeah. So whereas the ones for Game of Thrones were made at Steenson's Jewelers, and they were cast that really beautiful Irish jewelry store in Ireland. Do you remember them? And they did the Hand of the King brooch, and they did the crowns, and they did the jewelry, some of the jewelry for the wedding, including the amethyst necklace. So everything was done by hand. And then once it was cast and everything, they like burnished it and everything by hand. So that just doesn't look, hey, Minty.
Oh, sup, Minty?
Oh, no, Carl's saying you actually can 3D print metal, but this was plastic. Okay, so how do you guys know, by the way? I think there's something in the behind the scenes.
Yeah, they have like the making of the thing.
Oh, okay. So I haven't seen it. Okay. But metal spray paint never looks right on plastic. It doesn't. Like, I mean, even if they cast it in plastic, they still have to finish it. Like, even if it's, because it's not going to look right. And so whatever finishing techniques they did, it just didn't look right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know if the crowns in Game of Thrones were 3D printed or were they actually done?
They were cast. So they apparently they designed them in CAD, which is like a 3D software, but then they actually cast it. I don't know what their casting process is, but they did it in bronze. So the Hand of the King is in bronze, Joffrey's crown, and good. Yeah, and even Aegon's, or not Aegon, what's his name? Robert's crown, Cersei's tiara. I think they made. Oh no, you're right. They did do. Oh no, you're right. They did do those two as well. Yes.
Yeah.
We did those later on, the silver ones for the end of the season.
So it's like, so why, if that could be done with a smaller budget than they have now with House of the Dragon, why did they have to 3D print? Why?
Yeah. Well, Kristen, that's funny. We were talking, I think we talked about this last time. There was no real like aging or de-aging. It was just sort of like, so Kristen was a really good example of that. They didn't do anything to age him at all.
Like nothing.
Yeah, no, I know about the functional meat because one of my clients is a food science association, so I knew about that. But maybe it's just still really cost prohibitive, Carl, to do that. Carl's, by the way, a plethora of information all the time.
Plethora.
Yeah, so that was
Why so
that's the thing.
curious?
That's the thing I thought. Yeah, so the crowns. I mean, the weapons look pretty good. There was a behind the scenes article I read about the weapons, but the one thing I thought was really cool, because I don't know if you read this, Tatiana. So apparently, for the cat's paw dagger, they got the original from the show Game of Thrones, and they had to borrow it from the because it's on tour, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So and they got to only have it for a little while, and then they were able to take measurements and stuff, and then they reproduced it. So, yes, does he have not many PhDs?
Oh, get it, Carl.
Get in the house, Carl.
Yeah, the weapons, the swords are real though. Yeah, those are cast.
The cat's paw dagger though it's not. I think he said it's aluminum. It's not steel, but I think the other two are actually steel.
Yeah, Blackfire are actually.
Yeah, they're really nice.
They're swordsmiths that did them. Blunt did them.
Yeah. Yeah, and there were rubies missing in his crown, and like there is a tiny there's a tiny little ruby they put in it, but honestly, if you look at the picture, it just looks so clunky. Like it looks really, I mean, people could go, oh, he can't, that you could go, oh, the metaphor, he can't handle the weight of the crown, blah blah blah, or whatever, right? Or that's fine, but you could have it be represented with lots of jewels, then, like heavy weighted jewels that would be too heavy for his head.
Where are the gems? It's my freaking. It's the same problem I have with Rings of Power and the dwarves. You see gold everywhere, not one gem. You don't see sapphires, you don't see rubies, you don't see diamonds, you don't see nothing. Just gold. I get it, gold's nice, but girl.
I really want someone to do a Ryan Condal behind the scenes after the episode parody, where because he's so stiff in his chair, and he's always like, so anyways, I can't do an impression. I was trying to do an impression of him the other day, but he's just like, he's kind of really stiff in his chair, and he wears the same outfit every time, and I'm hoping that he sends that out for dry cleaning, because it's going to be probably pretty rank. He's been wearing it for 10 weeks straight. Oh yeah, his eye. Now his eye, Tatiana, do you think that was real, or do you think that was a special effect?
That was CGI. That was absolutely CGI.
It sparkled too, right? Did you guys notice it kind of sparkled?
It didn't sparkle so much as glisten. It felt like it
glistened. Yeah, maybe that's because Oh, here she is. She's coming in.
Hey, queen. Oh,
I have returned.
Tatiana and I are just talking about the costume, so Gem Budget was.
And are you on frame or just invisible? I'm confused.
She's off camera.
Yeah, I'm off camera today. I'm not feeling that great, and I'm also eating, so
okay, that's cool.
To see that.
Oh, that's very cool, Carl. Thanks. Hi, Minty. I don't know if I said hi to you already. So Alicia's here. Alicia, we decided to put Tatiana was wearing a tiara, so I decided to put on my crown. So we decided to name this before you were here, we decided to name it what someone named it, the Queen, the Princess and the Queen.
The Princess and the Queen. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'll be the historian. I'll just stand in the background and take notes.
Okay, you do that. You be who is it?
Does Centaur mean that actor has both eyes? But like in real, well, I know that.
Yeah.
I know he's got I know that's a fake like prosthetic, but
no,
I was just asking if the gem was there, if it was Eamon's actor. Is it Eamon's actor? Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Blue raspberry. It was the Night King's eyes. Eamon, yeah. Did he really? You mean the actor? Oh, just kidding.
The Night King?
Oh, okay.
There.
I was about to say that would be more akin to Simeon's star eyes.
There was a little bit of it. Well, actually, the one thing that was really cool about the Night King and the White Walkers is a lot of that was practical, like the costumes and the prosthetics and everything. That was all practical, and it looks so good. They had to do very little. They did have green screens and stuff, but so anyway, Alicia, now that you're here, why don't you give us your little sort of your thoughts on the episode.
Okay. Thoughts on the
eating.
episode.
She's eating.
First
so.
Off, yep. Sorry.
Enjoy the Valerian family.
Yes,
they're still alive.
So thoughts on the episode. I don't think we rated it in the after show or yesterday for the discussion, but I'll give it like 9.5 out of 10. strong. I liked almost everything that I saw, pretty much. Eve Best, we call her Auntie Nisi. Her face acting this whole episode was completely on point and the greatest. Every time the camera panned over to her, I loved everything that I saw. Rhaenyra, actually, also, I do not remember the actor's name.
Emma.
So sorry. Emma Darcy. Yes, thank you. I think Emma did a great scene.
Oh, she did.
Several great scenes here, especially at the end, like when I was watching, when she turns to the camera after getting that news about Luke, and like just the look in her eye to, the almost there sneer on her lip as the tears are coming down. It's like, yo, you better be the dragon. That's my Black Queen right there. That's where she was born. And like you just know all hell is coming for
Oh, I had it. Look, Alicia, I had it ready.
Yep, I made sure to keep it in the banners.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there are several peak really good moments here, but I'm sure we'll get into it as we talk about the episode in different pieces. Overall, though, I enjoyed it immensely. It's been great, and holy crap, I'm kind of glad though this 10 weeks is over, because damn it, it's been a long 10 weeks.
Yeah. Alicia, I was saying that. Or Tatiana, I don't know if I was mentioning this to you before, but Alicia and I are talking about it's been a long 10 weeks just doing a live stream every week. She's been sometimes doing multiple live streams and then doing videos and stuff. So it's been kind of, but we're really glad everyone who's come in. We've met a lot of new friends, which is awesome. And so this is going to be a fun night. And then we're actually, and I was mentioning, we're probably going to do a big end of the season finale episode live stream and invite some of the panel back that we had. So that'll be really fun. But tonight we're just going to sort of focus on this episode, and then we can talk a little bit about the season. But okay, so where should we start? We left
start at the beginning.
Yeah, we left King's Landing, and we're not in King's Landing anymore. Oh, here's Justin. Well, hello, Justin Thomas.
Boo-boo.
Look at who we have here.
You're muted. We can't hear you, love.
He's getting all set up.
What was there, like, not enough over talking? Was this stream going?
No, we needed more.
Yes. Yes.
It was supposed to be a lively panel, but it kind of like Alicia's sick and Rebecca's sick, and then one of the other girls who we were going to have come on is sick. So Alicia's here in spirit.
It's flu season, I guess.
I put the stop to it. I said, this ain't going to go well on my watch. I'll come on in. Thank you.
That's right, Carl.
She's like, everything's
Carl
going too
remembers.
smooth. Yeah.
Things always go well on your watch. You stop that right now, young man.
All right. I'm gonna pour myself a
brandy.
Yeah, it's gonna be
a
liquor.
dram.
I'm not witty. All right. I'll be back.
Anyway, so we and I thought it was a really good episode too. Like I'd seen oh my god, were you able to avoid spoilers? Like what happened with you there?
Yeah.
Oh,
I luckily did not see any. Actually, Becks had sent me a message on Insta telling me that there were spoilers out there. So I was like, "Ooh, okay, thank you for the heads up."
Oh,
I appreciate that. I stayed clear of Twitter for probably a good day or two to make sure that I didn't see anything I didn't want to see.
Justin doesn't get a crown.
I didn't even know there were any spoilers at all. Like, strangely, my YouTube feed didn't pick up on like the spoilers. I'm like, thank God.
I saw a few that came through just on YouTube. I was surprised at this. Somebody had done a couple of videos about it, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So I already knew one thing. Yeah.
Like I know everyone always tries to scramble to be the first out there or something. I'm like, calm down, chill. We'll get there. Don't spoil the whole experience for everyone else. I think that's.
Do you remember? Do you remember when? I don't remember which season of Game of Thrones it was, but in one of the seasons, like the first 4 episodes were leaked.
Season 6.
Leaked, yeah.
It was with Tyrion getting into
the site leak.
Blanche's,
Hey Justin, before we keep going, why don't you just tell everyone who you are and then also at the same time give us your first impressions on this episode.
Justin Thomas. I'm mostly just do editing now, which I'm very happy doing. I was actually making a video today breaking down some quick editing tips that I was going to post on either TikTok or my YouTube channel, but I edit for the lovely Heidi here.
Love you, Justin.
The great reaction, content creator and great person, AK, got me set up with Manic Meeks. I do her reaction videos for Grimm right now. I mean, I can't do all her videos. She has so much content.
You're doing Meeks, and unfortunately, Meeks is sick tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, her Grimm videos. So that's been interesting to do a different style and stuff like that. But yeah, and as far as House of the Dragon, I wasn't overwhelmed by the series. I didn't think it was. I don't know. It's not bad. It was very entertaining. I don't think it's on the level that Thrones was when Thrones was Thrones, but it's not Thrones. It's its own thing. So yeah, I thought it was decent as far as the spoilers go. I guess it's like if you can't be good at something, you can still be first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that's the idea behind that.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you know what I did is I shouldn't probably be saying this on this video because I might get in trouble. But I said to Jack on Saturday, listen, the episode is out. Why don't we just find it and then we'll watch it? Because otherwise I'm going to get spoiled and I'm going to, and then we watched it. It was great. And I actually did watch it on Saturday. So I'll probably get demonetized or taken down.
My God.
You will. No such thing will happen.
So, all right. So we're starting at the beginning. So yeah. So I was just saying we're no longer in King's Landing. We said goodbye to mostly the Greens. Most of them are gone. Kristen Cole kind of went out with a like. Like
doesn't he always though?
Yeah, he's like so boring. That's you know what that's the best thing to say to a simp or one of these types of guys. Just like you're kind of boring. Like you're not like you don't upset me. You don't like madden me or anything like that. You're just kind of like yawn. That would make him so angry, don't you think?
Yeah, Don Draper said it the best. He said, "I don't think about you at all."
Yeah, I don't think about you at all. Exactly. Yeah. That's such an insult, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although I think for me he's kind of like the Umbridge of the season, where he's not like the big bad. He's not Otto, who's like, or Laris, who are like big bads, but he's just so goddamn annoying.
Yeah. I actually, it's funny. I didn't like last week's episode as much as maybe like I think this episode was better, but 8 was definitely the best for me.
I think it was a mistake to do what's called bottle episodes. Essentially with these the factions. I get the idea behind it, and there's been worse atrocities. It's not like some terrible thing, but these last 2 episodes could have been better if approached with a different pace.
So you would have liked to have seen the 2 like storylines kind of going like stacked on top of each other, going back
and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, what Game of Thrones is known for, the Song of Ice and Fire, it's known for its layered, complex, multi-storyline. But this is more intimate, so I get it.
Yeah, why so curious? The Greens cannot carry an episode by themselves. So dry. Are you serious when you're saying that?
I'm guessing they didn't like episode 9.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you kind of wonder though, is it because some people don't like the Greens? Like it's like
I mean, I have seen like videos of like Green fans like defending them, saying, "Oh, Allison fought so hard and she deserves." It's like, if Alicent was the claimant to the throne, if Alicent was the one being crowned queen of the 7 kingdoms, sole ruler, then maybe.
Yeah.
But it's not. Aegon is. And Aegon very much does not deserve to be king. So I don't give a shit what Alicent does. She may be the most complex, badass bitch of them all. Not counting Rhaenyra or Rhaenys. But she is doing all this shit in service to a despotic, tyrannical asshole. So I do not care.
And she's doing it underhandedly.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't just a simple mistake. You could tell that not even her father believed her. Not even Otto believed when she said he changed his mind. You mean to tell me the dude that got out of his sickbed to tell all of you assholes to shut up? I said what I said. She's my heir. That is going to go to bed a couple hours later and change his mind? Yeah. How does that make sense to anyone?
Mm-hmm.
I like what happened. I don't like how it happened. Because I think that, I don't get into and I get it. I mean, that's part of like the fandom. Like, so I'm not going to act. I really can't, because I sound like an asshole every time I do it. Like I do see the redeeming characteristics of Alicent, just in the same form I saw him in Cersei, just in the way of her. She showed that she is a strong mother. Her sons suck though, but is a strong mother with shitty sons. Allison. You know what I mean? Like, but her believing, yes, like coming to that conclusion, it seems like they did the thing where you betray the character to get the character to do what you need him to do when that wasn't necessary. And they do this a few times. They did it like crazy with Damon this past episode, which I'm sure we'll talk about. I mean, to some extent. So suspension of disbelief. I'm with you, AK. That, you know, I think her standing up there and blocking her children was like, you know, that's something that everybody can get behind, that primal emotion. But at the same time, it's like, man, do we really like how we got here? I didn't.
Right. Like you low-key brought that on yourself. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of people were upset that Rhaenys didn't go ahead and go full Dracarys. I wasn't, because I understood why that would not be a good look and the aftermath that would come with all those things happening. So, and then of course someone else was saying, you know, well, everybody that was on the stage was real brave because they didn't try to run. That's because they were too stunned to really do anything.
Yeah, that was a running situation. Would only just make
sitting there in your face.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'd rather get shot in the face.
That's not brave to me.
It's like it's like a fire hose. It can go like that.
Yeah, exactly. And in that confined space, where it's crowded, how far are you even going to be able to run before them flames touch you?
I think
it doesn't have to be the flames. Just the air is going to get hot enough to burn you.
Allison did show bravery, I'll say. I don't think we're supposed to, it's not supposed to be implied that any of them are brave besides Allison in that moment to go out, at least go out with her family. Like, but the rest of them.
Helena was.
Helena. Yeah, I keep, you always forget about the good ones. That's the sad part. You know what I mean? Like, she is good. So, yeah.
Yeah, Helena absolutely had a smile on her face when Melee's came up. Yeah. If you go back and watch, it's very interesting to see. And I really wonder what was her thought process.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't have been surprised if her thought process was, please take me with you. I hate this family.
Right.
Take me and my kids with you. I don't care anymore.
Please, look, we'll meet you down the block. Okay, let me grab the babies and we'll climb on Moon Dancer. No, Dreamfire. That's her dragon.
Well,
and we'll all go to Dragonstone and hang out.
I do have a question for the panel, a really quick one. What do we think about the dragon Rhaenys? You know, obviously, I think my opinion on this is because we saw dragons do two things. We saw dragons not listen to their riders in the last episode. In the episode prior, right, the penultimate episode, we saw Rhaenys in complete control, right? So I think that this is not a continuity error. This is a experienced dragon rider versus a young hothead. I saw these. That's one thing. Yeah, I thought that actually people like, oh, so you're gonna have one not listen, and then the last episode all determined that. I mean, that's, to be fair, it's like one is more that shows the rider, the experience of the rider, and the respect the dragon has for the rider. So, like in this universe, how dragon riding's been explained in the books and all that, this jives with me. I think there's no issue with that. I like
this. This is Auntie Nisi on her game.
Yeah,
and she has complete, not even, no, I'm not going to call it control. They have a symbiotic relationship, and they are so well in tune with each other that Melee's knew not to burn fire on the whole damn room.
Yeah.
Those were two kids playing with nukes, fucking around, and Aemon messed everything up.
Oh, sorry, let Tatiana go ahead.
Go ahead, Tatiana. Add to that question, here's another question. Why do you think they lost control? Don't just say just because they're kids. Is it because the dragons were following animal instinct, or were they actually responding to the bond with their rider, and they were responding to the rider's instinct?
No,
because
I think it's complete inexperience in how to.
It's an experience, but could be like because the dragons were just being animals, like just following their own instinct, or were they following the instincts of the rider because Aemon was angry and vicious, and Luke was terrified and needed to protect and wanted to protect himself.
Well, here's
and then went through the bond.
Also, Aemon gave the order to stop several times.
Aemon was very unsure of himself. So the dragon, my understanding is that we're supposed to, this is a deeper connection of like that dragon knows that it's rider. Because what did Aemon want to do? Just scare him? But how? He's a young, very testosterone, hate-filled, wants an eye for an eye. And they I think that the dragon has this like symbiotic connection with him in that unsurety and that like reckless abandonment, like just like rage, but like he wants to get all the rage, but then none of the consequences, right? So like the dragon, it's not, I guess you could say they don't respect that, but also it's like that it's an internal thing. I don't think it's the vocal commands because they bond with people not because they ask them to, but they bond with them on a personal level. We've seen
because
that.
they want to.
Yeah. So like if they don't respect the rider, they're not gonna, because the rider's not sure of themselves. So they're gonna be that's the oldest motherfucking dragon, in this universe, right? That dragon isn't some rookie. So that dragon, it's like, no, I'm gonna take control because this rookie doesn't know what he's doing.
Doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna do
exactly.
it. Yeah.
I was going to say, actually, when I was younger, like when I started babysitting, I was pretty young babysitter, and I had a newborn, and I was looking after, and I could not get the baby to settle down and stuff. So I called my mom, and she said, "Oh, you need to just kind of relax because the baby can sense that you're tense and you're upset." So I kind of buy into a little bit what Tatiana was saying about the rider and the dragon maybe sensing the distress or anxiety.
I second that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like, so Alicia, I think you were saying that, right?
Yeah, it's definitely that symbiotic relationship, just like Melis and Auntie Nisi. When it comes to Vhagar, I think Vhagar knew exactly what Eamon was doing, but Vhagar is an old lady. Y'all know some old folks be crotchety. All right, this is the old battle dragon. Okay, she's not out here in these streets to play games.
Yeah,
at all. And if you look at the things, honestly, Luke could have made it out of there because there's a hot minute where both Eamon and Vhagar were looking around, and no Luke and Eric's in sight. If wherever they went, however high up they went, if they'd kept going to Dragonstone, they probably could have made it. But RX decided to come and do that little flyby with the puff and the fireball. And Vhagar said right there, if Vhagar was wavering at all on whether to listen to her rider or not, that right there is sealed the deal. She's like, okay, look here, you little bastard. Okay, I'm about to tell you who I am because you obviously have not heard about me.
Yeah, they shot first.
And she ended it within the next 2 seconds. So,
yeah.
Did I want to see that happen? Absolutely not. But can I blame Vhagar for the response? No, this is a battle-hardened dragon you have here. You can't take no shots like that and not expect repercussions.
Yeah, but the whole idea though that he was just trying to, to scare him or what have you. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
He was being a super dick.
Exactly. Come on,
yeah.
Heidi.
He didn't. He thought. see, and that's one thing that I said last night. He thought that he was going to have control and be able to do whatever he wanted to do, but he didn't have that same conversation that his father had with Rhaenyra. He doesn't know, or for whatever reason can't fathom, that they're not really in control of those dragons.
Well, but I want to touch on I'm sorry,
it doesn't surprise me that something like this would happen.
Yeah. Sorry, Alicia. David
put
something in there. I just want to say that Eamon was just being a scamp. You know how it is. He wanted to give the boy a scare, He was being a little stinker. All right. He was just messing around. Fandom brought up a good point about, because I was going to make the joke about if my airline pilot, Luke, was like, oh, we'll be descending now. Oh, no, fuck that. There's a big ass dragon down there. So we're going to go ahead and keep going. I'll be like, yeah, good job. That's why you're the pilot. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have landed in the first place. Like, as soon as
Eamon's supposed to actually be 17.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is
what
crazy.
I don't think Luke
old
should
is
have
that
left.
actor?
Not that he shouldn't have landed. No, he had a job to go do. But I don't think he should have left. If he would have asked to stay the night, Lord Baratheon would not have been able to refuse him.
Like, Luke is a sweetheart. Luke was like a nice guy.
He didn't make him feel very welcome, though.
Oh, no, but he's not meant for any of this. Isn't it better that he's gone, to be fair? Like, he's not meant for anything that's about to go down.
That is very true.
It's like a mother gerbil snuffing up, eating her babies.
What other end, do you see for Luke?
It's just better that he's gone now.
Yeah,
he was too good for this world.
True enough, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a dick saying it, but it's like, did you see that ending in a different way? It's
the
like,
actors,
that was going to happen.
We were actually natural. We were talking about this last week. We were saying that like the actress who plays Alicent is actually in her 20s, and then two of the actors, or one of the actors who plays her son, are in their I think they're both in their 20s. She's in her late 20s. They're in their early 20s.
The kid that played Luke is in his 20s.
Probably.
No, sorry, not Luke. No, sorry, Allison's kids. Amond.
Oh,
and
okay.
Aegon.
Yeah, Amond I knew. Yeah, he
well, like
both-
Millie
looks like he's in his 20s.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you
they're
know how
both-
Hollywood is.
They're both in their 20s, and then the actress who plays Alicent is also in her 20s, like in her late 20s.
Mhm.
Like 90210 was full of like 40-year-old guys that take Propecia and like
Yeah, like
other,
I think
like
Ian
pills,
Ziering was like 35
yeah.
when
He was
played that
42.
role.
He was like 42 and he was like a
It's absurd.
sophomore. He's like, I got dentures. They're like, what? He's like, yeah,
Seriously.
sophomore issues. You know what I mean? Dentures.
Yeah, so the actor who's Aemon is 25, the one Aegon is 28, and Olivia is 29. It's so weird.
Aegon is 28. Wow. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
well, so he's older than Aemond.
Yeah, his liver
That
looks
actually
like
kind of
He's a year
surprises me.
younger than Olivia. Wow.
Yeah, but because she's in I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like it was something like it's like a video game movie, and then it's virtual reality.
Assassin's Creed.
No, sorry, it's directed by Steven Spielberg.
Ready Player One.
She's in Ready Player One. She plays the girl.
That's
Yeah,
the movie
Olivia Cook.
about-
Yeah, that's where I know her. I don't know her from
I've seen that movie twice. It's
I know
a
her
great
from
movie.
Bates Motel.
Oh,
guys haven't
Yeah.
watched that
okay,
show,
she's in that.
It's a great show.
Oh.
Yeah, with
Okay,
Vera
but I think
Farmiga.
in Ready Player One, she puts on an American accent, though, if I recall.
She did a lot of smaller
I
projects
think so.
up until this.
But that was a pretty big deal. She played like the leading woman in that.
No, yeah, I'm not saying that wasn't, but I'm saying
Yeah.
like she did do a lot of like indie flicks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I watched the Vogue video, and I feel she's pretty down to earth. I feel like she's a lot like Emilia Clarke. She has a lot of that vibe. Like she's goofy,
Yeah.
she's silly. I mean, they're all nice. But
Absolutely.
that interview I really liked from her. She'd seem like
She seems like a genuine, real
does.
person.
Yeah, not fake, genuine, but actually genuine. Who
Right,
knows?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Could be a
she
monster.
seems really nice.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
cast seems really nice. Like Matt Smith, does he just seem like the nicest guy?
I love
He is.
Yeah.
He's a fun-loving, goofy guy
Yeah.
from all accounts that I've seen. All the like off-screen stuff that he's just
Oh
that
yeah.
somebody happens to capture him just randomly messing around. Seems like a fun
30
dude. I'd
days
love
is
to have
how
a-
you
sit and
sound,
have a
my
drink with
friend.
him.
What exactly?
He's like,
is
what's
it?
an American accent? It's a general. I don't even know what an
I
American
couldn't tell you.
general American accent is. It's not
Well,
British.
No, you have
Like
a
I have a
transatlantic.
Canadian accent, and you guys have American accents.
Well, me and Alicia speak in a Midwest way.
Mhm.
So if you were, I guess, right, you
Somewhat.
to a point. We're not. There's different. Listen, you
It's
can't.
not that different. I don't
You
think.
put baby in a corner. It's because then you're like, oh, what are you from Wisconsin? I'll be like, oh, don't you know? What are you from Michigan? What's that all about? What are you from New York? And then you have that. AK
I'm from
is
New
more
York,
east.
bruh.
You're more east than
Huh?
I. Yeah, but you're not
Yeah,
New
so-
York.
Uh,
Which is like, you're not obnoxious.
30
New
days
York.
is from like South Dakota. I think.
I
are
like
you
how
from
Alicia-
South Dakota, which
who's
is
from-
like Fargo, Grand Forks.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
not even the best
northern.
Dakota.
It's Nick. Oh, is he in the wood chipper, ma'am?
Oh, don't you know? It's Dakota.
Don't you know?
There's two of us. Why? You don't know.
I'm gonna go down to Bangor, Maine. No, that's the wrong state. I'm gonna go up to what's North Dakota?
I don't
Fargo,
know.
Grand Forks.
There's the woods everywhere, but I like how Alicia doesn't define herself by New York, which most
That's so
people do.
true, Master.
Yeah. Most
Oh,
people
he's
do
from
that.
sorry, he's
Well,
from North Dakota. So, oh my
Yes, I
god, I
remember.
have
Wait, who's
30 days. I've been to North Dakota. I've been to Fargo, where like the show takes place.
It's like, hey, I'm from because I'm in Carolina right now, so I'm in North
Mhm.
Carolina. That's just like saying, hey, I'm in hell, but I'm like in the north
Oh,
part.
do you? Yeah,
Yeah.
Fargo, Grand Forks.
Eh.
No, because when I used to live in Winnipeg, we used to get the Fargo Grand Forks TV stations, so we get all of their
Oh,
shows,
That must have been a very big deal for you
PBS and all
guys.
that.
Canadians,
Fargo
you guys
Grand
just-
Forks.
we
No, I was
can
doing
dismiss
Bangor,
you.
Maine too. Bangor, Maine.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, so
You're one of the last people we can really dismiss as like and not get any shit for it. Like that's why I do it. It's not ideal for me because I work for you, but like we can really go at you Canadians still. So we can really
yeah,
stack
it's
it on.
true.
Nobody
Actually, you know
sticks
what?
up.
Newfies, which is the eastern part of Canada, they sound a lot like the Irish. Just a little slight. I don't know.
That's disrespectful even to the Irish, Heidi.
It is. Sorry, it is disrespectful to them. Yeah. So
Sorry, what?
South London reseller says that you guys sound American. Oh, Tatiana doesn't though. Tatiana doesn't sound American. Tatiana, do you?
I don't sound American. What do you mean? I thought I sounded perfectly American.
I still forget where you're from. Are you
Oh,
from Puerto
sorry.
Rico?
Fargo's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh my God, sorry.
Well,
I
see,
still
that's the thing
forget
though. I come from a family that has very strong accents, but we're not American. We're West Indian. from Guyana. So
there we go.
a lot of times if it has to be the right situations. I've been told that accent comes out pretty.
I think my
easily.
hair has gotten.
It's usually when there's like strong emotions that like the Latina
Yeah.
like
Well, it's ideal to get
Very
to
much
be like
that,
a
very
network
much
news
that.
No, I'm totally
anchor.
confused. I
Most of
always
the
thought
time,
Fargo
besides
was in
that,
North
though,
Dakota.
you can tell I'm from New York by the way I talk.
Nice.
yeah,
Well,
I can tell you're a New Yorker. Not sure from where, but I can tell you that there's a New York accent in there.
Well, I can tell you there's no New
Hopefully.
York other than New York City, according to everybody from New York, because everybody that lives in Syracuse, they're all from the city. You know what I mean? Not Alicia, but yeah, I get that a lot.
I mean,
Wow.
yeah, pretty much the boroughs.
Or-
The boroughs, yeah.
Yeah.
The 5
So,
boroughs is all of New York. We consider everything else Canada.
30 days is messing with me. So no, it is in North Dakota, but we don't like counting it as such. So they
Oh,
say
see,
that
now
it's
you in trouble,
Minnesota.
Justin.
So you
Now
don't
you in
like
trouble.
you don't
Look
like
at the
Fargo?
pic where, you know,
Nah, look at
you
the
don't
chat.
get to, I don't give a
I was
shit.
waiting for that to pop up. I was
No.
waiting for that to pop up. That's why I didn't say nothing because I knew it was going to come.
Oh, that's true, Carl.
Speaking of obnoxious New York, we have somebody that I very much like, and is very New York. But I'll say that Tony, you're
I know.
charming. Tony's charming enough to get away with it, at least. Like if you were a
Tony is
little,
not
if you were slightly
obnoxious at
less
all.
charming, it would be just a whole type of other insufferable. But no, you're pretty. I like you, Tony. You get away
I
with
have never heard Tony ever.
He doesn't
be
bring up New
obnoxious.
York. No,
He's
no.
very, I think he's very buttery. I think he's got a very
He
buttery
has
kind of.
he's a smooth.
He's a smooth.
He's a
criminal.
smooth talker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like who's this guy? Bernie Hudson. He has that.
He's a
Very
strong,
good.
sexy man.
He is. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Really, I respect that about him.
I bet he's blushing right now. He's like, stop it.
Yeah,
When we were at the
Stop
con
it.
together,
Kidding me? He
I
loves
took
it.
his name tag and I put "strong sexual man" on it.
Are you
And I
kidding
tried
me? He
to-
loves it.
he
Tony,
did-
I'm
he
putting
did
my
not-
tiara back on for you.
didn't
I was trying to get
appreciate
my hair.
Girl,
See,
girl,
look,
get
Yeah,
Justin
see,
said,
Tony
keep
wants to
going.
keep it
He
going.
said, keep going. I told you.
Yeah, see, Tony.
girl,
Tony,
get some hairpins.
and Tony's been working out. Like, have you seen his muscles? Whoa.
Get it,
Wow.
Tony.
Muscles
I
happening.
haven't, but I got to tell you, I'm impressed. I like it.
Yeah, no, last time he came on, I'm like, you stopped drinking because you're working out. So he's not, no, but I think he is drinking a little bit for it.
He shamed me at the
Fandom.
con. It was like 11 o'clock the day of my panel, like, and we were eating lunch, and I was like, "You want me to get you a drink?" And I came back with Jack Daniels. He goes, "Motherfucker, it's 11 o'clock." He goes, "I thought you were gonna get me a beer or something." And I was like, "I'll drink both."
You're
Yeah.
drinking Jack Daniels at like 11. That's okay.
I was nervous. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no, I know. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I had to MC a wedding one time and I ended up like having too much wine during dinner. And you guys know how I am. And so I had to get up and like there were
must have
250
been a fun
people. I was
experience.
so nervous.
I was DJ for 10 years, Heidi. I know that person
Yeah.
you were that night. I was that person, and I muted that person.
I was
Yeah.
no, I
Like,
know,
oh,
but I
your
held
mouth.
it together. And my professor, 2 of my professors were at the wedding as well because it was a girl I had gone to school with. So I was like, oh my God. And but anyway, I had a guy after come up to me and say, "Hey, that was like the best MC job I've ever seen anybody do." And I was like, "Oh my God, really?" I was so nervous. So it like done, you know. So after that, it was really nice. We got to just relax, but I was so nervous about that.
I like it when the grandmas have everybody put the
I
keys.
think you are a little too hard on yourself about drinking, Heidi. You are very, very fun when you're drunk and
Thanks.
I mean you're fun all the time, but when there's
Yes.
alcohol involved, it's
Yeah.
even better.
Actually,
That's at our
tonight I
last
took a
AA
gummy
meeting. Yeah.
because you know
Oh
we
my
have
God.
medical, we have like legal pot up in
Yeah.
Canada now. So
And
Jack
so,
bought
so do
me.
we.
Oh, you do? That's amazing.
Yeah, we
So
do.
Jack
I mean,
is.
my sister works at a weed dispensary.
Oh my God, that
So,
would be
yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah, she's like the right
What's the
hand man.
employee discount like at that place?
It's like,
That's
so
kinda
anyway,
cool.
so Jack got me like this little vial, and I was like, "What is in there? What is in there?" And they're like little gummies, like little gummy they tiny
Edibles,
tots.
yeah.
We used to call them when we were kids. So they're like little tiny tots. They're fruit flavored gummies. So I took one before the stream. So
Yeah, just eat some weed.
Yeah.
Eat a weed. Eat
so I'm gonna be
weed.
like, "Woohoo!" Yeah.
I
So
love
that's
it.
me
I
tonight.
love it.
All right.
Thanks,
So the
Nash.
show. The show.
All right, yeah. So
yeah.
let's get back to the show. You know, I got to
All
run
right,
away
no.
in like an hour.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
So back to the show. Let's talk about it.
So we were talking about. Sorry, I had to take a call. Where did we left off?
Well, we kind of went off on a tangent. So
Yeah,
Oh,
we're waiting for you to
sorry.
get back.
Oh, okay.
I was just
Um,
expecting a large
Well, we talked
demographic
about.
of
Well, we
people,
were
I
just
think.
talking. We kind of went to the end.
we could talk about
but-
Rainy. Well, we can talk about when Rainy's came in with the news that Viserys is dead. Her throne has been usurped, and just
Yeah.
like
she didn't
all-
even soften it off at all. She just
Yeah,
sort
she
of
had a
like went
weird
in there.
energy. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Why would
Yeah.
you soften that though?
like
There really isn't any way to soften that. I don't think.
No, that's true.
it's like I mean, unless you like put it like in between two nice things, like here's a bag of puppies. Your father is dead and you've been usurped, and here's a vacation to Rio. That's a way to soften it.
Okay,
Go
I'll
and
do
send
that.
your very soft boys out to do these and make sure they know not to fight either. It's like, you really need to tell Luke not to fight? Like, come on. Yeah.
Honestly, Rainy should have been the one to go to Storm's End, in my opinion.
Oh my god.
I will say about Rhaenys, here's
Actually,
the thing. Is
yeah.
Rhaenys stole... Okay, I was disappointed. I don't think they know what to do with Damon. Because Damon is just all over the fucking place. And
I mean,
I liked
I
his energy, but Rhaenys had the badass energy
Yeah, she
this
did.
last 2 episodes. She
Yeah.
was consistent. Damon, I
That's a
think,
fact.
man, he is a rogue, but there's that whole thing of like, what is a real rogue? What is a real wild card, real life, which is like unpredictable, horrible, not great for ideal for any Always Sunny did a thing on it, you know, like, but like you got to write one that makes a little bit of sense. I do think they're being a little bit too over the place, all over the place with Damon. He's he's a little disappointing with what they've done with him, in my opinion. But yeah, Rhaenys was like a boss. She's like, yo, they stole your crown. She's like, you gonna help me? She's like, bitch, you'll see. I don't know, maybe. See if
Maybe.
Corliss comes. Maybe.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said, where's Damon? He's like, at the store, motherfucker.
I mean, I think that's why Damon was like that, because again, we know from like episode 1 that he does not process emotions very well.
Yeah.
Like he's especially when it comes to like grief. Like grief, he sucks at it unless he like sees it in someone else, like Rhaenyra. If he sees Rhaenyra being sad, then maybe. But that's a big maybe. Like,
why hasn't he
when
taught any of the kids to
Fortuna-
fight?
But
They
also,
had 3
like,
whole
his
daddies
way
that didn't teach him how to fight.
Yeah, somebody put
Well,
that on
they
Twitter.
weren't really naturals.
I
think
don't
maybe they
care.
just gave up on it.
That's exactly why you're supposed to practice more.
And their whole livelihood depends on them being able to fight and win, by the way.
And also,
like,
how
this
is it possible they
futile.
didn't know how to fight? Like their father was like, amazing.
You had breakbones. You had Damon.
Yeah.
Okay, Laenor wasn't doing a whole lot. He should have been doing more. But still,
Also-
3 whole daddies and you assholes can't fight.
Yeah.
I
trained the
mean,
box and
Chris-
wasn't,
I mean,
like,
get in the
gonna
box.
have to
may
fight
we
for my
remember that Krispy Kreme was the one supposedly teaching them how to fight, and he very much had a favoritism. So that
Which is
also comes
exactly
into
why
it.
they should have picked up the slack.
I'm just confused about Damon. I think I think you're supposed to be, but I think they went a little bit overboard. I think I'm actually confused.
I
You get what I mean?
agree. I see what you're saying.
Does that
there,
make
Justin,
sense?
yeah.
Can somebody?
There's a few things that
Yeah.
they put him through that just really they didn't have to do.
Yeah, like they brought in a different writer that's never seen the show every day for like the last 3 episodes. So like, just go at it. There's a guy named Damon. You can write for him because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Oh, who was that?
I mean, I thought he was just spiraling because of all the news that's happening. And again, he does not process emotions well. His go-to emotion
He doesn't.
to process grief is violence and anger.
Yeah.
Like literally, the second Rainy says Viserys is dead, he said that bitch killed him.
Killed my brother.
Revenge,
Yeah.
death, burning, and burn it all. That was him. He does not process grief. He cannot.
And also a big factor in that too was when Rhaenyra was calling for him while she was going through the really bad part of labor, and he could not bring himself to walk in that room because of what he had the experience with Lena.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I was going to say also, my father, I remember this is something about my dad. And if I if I was just venting or whatever, when you want to just sometimes vent, my dad would always want to come and rescue me and kind of, figure out a way to deal with it. And I'd be like, no, Dad, I'm just kind of telling you something. You don't need to come up with a solution. Like it's sort of a woman thing. Like I just want to sort of tell you about this and share this with you. And then the man's like, well, we got to do this.
No. We're like deer in the headlights. Oh my God. What the fuck does she want me to say? And then we're just going to try to do it. But go ahead with what you're saying, because you don't want us to do anything, right?
Well, what I was going to say about that, Justin, is that I think she hears this news and then she's like, okay, I got to process this. his immediate reaction is, we got to act on this now.
Mhm.
You know, and I don't want to be like, this is a male thing and this is a female thing, but like, I think that's sort of where we're going with him, with Damon.
It is what it is, yeah.
So she's processing it differently than he's processing it. And they have a conflict with that, right? And now I don't know, like, I mean, he's kind of a psychopath. So him choking her just seemed to be the type of thing maybe a psychopath would do, because he is. I mean, someone was saying he did murder his wife. Like, I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
But he didn't like her.
I think that.
He didn't like her though.
I don't think. I think that that's a very cloudy.
Well, you know,
that's a gray
men
area.
who kill their wives, I think they could argue probably at one point they liked their wife, and then suddenly they didn't.
He was there when she died. I'll admit to that. But what I will get to is
so she was there. Well, hopefully, Justin, you drugged her first. So.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well,
how did we get here?
Wow. Well, again, I'm happy I answered this one. Number one, wasn't supposed to be here. Happy I answered this one. Called number two. Now I'm going to hold you to you will never fire.
Oh my.
I'm going to lose all my other jobs. No, that is not a characteristic in which I was displayed or anything. But anyways, so if he's the type of guy to choke his wife when she has no action, why is he such a guy of inaction in these other parts of like making sure that these sons are ready for what could possibly come? It wasn't like this is a complete blindside.
We kind of inherited them, though. He inherited them.
Okay, but he inherited
already sort of established.
But the situation. It's not like, oh well, it's going to be a war. There's a great possibility of a dispute in this feudal system. So like, I think that Damon. I think it's thank God for like, you know, streams like this and good YouTube creators that break down like the mentality of him, because the writer's like, oh, thank you. I just wrote it like whatever, because I think it's a little bit laissez-faire. I think Tatiana has a very compelling, intelligent. This is something that always comes up with talking about these shows, right? Like very intelligent way to like decipher them. And the writer's like, holy shit, yeah, that's a smart way to make up for this bullshit.
No, and you're right, Tony.
Yeah.
Just real quick, Tony, in response to what you had said before that comment, yes, I do agree. I wasn't saying that seriously that he didn't like her as an excuse. No, not at all. That was a shit move on his part.
That probably is a
Absolutely.
motivation, though. It's not an excuse, but it's a motivation.
It was a motivation, yeah. But no, I wasn't saying it like, no, that excuses it because he didn't like her. No,
and she fell.
It was just me joking around.
She fell.
But as Peter said, he did give her a rock as a pillow.
Damn it!
He's a man of action. He goes man of action.
There's a lot of rock deaths in Game of Thrones. I've noticed. Like, you know, can we not figure out something a little more creative than
how did he die? How did she die?
Rocks?
It's like, oh, her weirdo husband was walking around with his hood up, like
with his murder cloak on,
like something out of Final Fantasy, or
with his
he told his butler, he's like, get me
in his murder cloak.
Like, I'll take the murder cloak today for the wife. Yeah,
it was very Anakin.
I think it's going to rain.
You know what? I
might as well wear the murder cloak.
Well,
that was very Anakin Skywalker. There. You're right.
People just want to like.
Tony's dropping some.
No, there is irrational Targaryen apologizing, and like there's just people love Dany so much that
there are people that
generations of people that could get away with shit.
Certain things, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's some written.
Have you not seen what's going on?
People that don't like Rhaenyra right now, they're about to really not like her because there's a whole bunch more fuck shit.
Have you not seen what's going on Twitter? People are like, I give her full permission to basically, you know, carpet bomb everything.
You can't ask Twitter not to Twitter. They're ridiculous. Okay, I don't ever. That's what I tell you. They're just.
That's why I'm on Twitter. They're ridiculous.
I have to say though, like Imagination Realm saying the Greens suck. Did you not find I don't know. I read Fire and Blood, and I found it pretty balanced. In this show, I'm like, oh, they're really kind of like. I feel like kind of it's like Fox News, like, but instead of it being like the Trumps, it's like the blacks. So they really paint them to be like very, favorable.
Hey, the blacks did fire first. They shot first. Can we highlight what Carl said? He said something actually pretty funny. He did a nice pun here. A rock in a hard place. You shameful man, but very funny. Very funny though. I like it.
Carl gets a lot of chuckle points when we do.
He's a poet.
I personally don't care for it, but I like that a lot.
Was the hard place her armor? Because it was bronze. It was supposed to be bronze armor.
Yeah, a lot of good that did her. But anyway,
well, I know.
Yeah. And the Erie will be right. They said like, oh, they'll be loyal to us. I'm like, will they? The blacks were very sure that the Vale was going to go with them.
I think I heard that absolutely. Actually. Yeah.
It's like Damon's like, yeah, they better. I killed her, so like, obviously support me. I'm going to go off and choke somebody and then be weird and just hard to track in general. I think they got like an intern writing me every other day, but last 2 episodes were rough for Damon. 3 episodes.
Do you mean it's more positive for the Greens in the book or than the
I think the Greens have a more positive case in general. I'd like to know what they think. Honestly, like Rhaenyra's not all the way right on all this stuff. Like Alicent is just dealing with what, like we all just deal with what we get. All right. I understand that in this case, there is the plot contrivance in which that she misinterprets this really ridiculous thing, so that actually shifts everything I'm saying right now. I just realized it when I'm talking, but like that really fucks it all up. Like me and Alicia were talking about behind that. Besides that, it's actually like I think they kind of mess up with that, because besides that, you could write it off, or not just write it off, but understand, have empathy for a mother's love. But with this contrivance of like believing this last thing that this dying man says, like this vague prophecy,
when there's a whole other Aegon.
She's like, that's the other show. Like, no, you're talking about the other show, honey. He's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, HBO Max had it on. You know, like he should have known. They should have known.
I think, and yeah, what Imagination Realm says is true. It didn't even really matter anyway. It didn't even matter when it came to it. They'd already made the decision. Yeah, it's funny because we were talking about.
Wait, what do you mean it didn't matter? I'm not sold on that.
Oh, really?
They said we now finally we get to put our long laid plans into effect.
Yes, they said okay, but they wouldn't have got into effect if she wouldn't have agreed with them. So it does matter. She's the gatekeeper.
What do you mean? If Alicent wouldn't have agreed with them?
You think they would have pushed Aegon without Alicent? I don't believe they would have.
Yes.
No, I don't.
They don't need Alicent for anything.
They were
plotting.
plotting.
We need Alicent for everything.
I was going to say that. Remember last week we were talking about wouldn't they have been like planning Viserys's death and everything? And like it was weird. Like today I'm listening to the radio, and apparently for Queen Elizabeth II, they've been planning her funeral for 10 years.
Princess Diana's funeral was Mary's funeral.
I believe that.
Queen Mary's funeral.
So they repeated it.
Well, no, they
used it.
They used the ones you're right.
That was in place.
Yeah, they rehearsed
Wait,
these
who's
things
Mary?
for decades. Mary was Elizabeth's
Margaret?
mother. But Mary's is who
Queen
they
Mother?
use for. I'm sorry, Mary's is who they use for the late Queen's father, George. So his mother's
Queen
funeral.
Mary. Yes, Queen
Mary, his mother, her funeral was used for George because they had practiced it.
Okay.
In Diana's, I think I'm wrong about that. Yeah, sorry.
It would probably be Princess Anne or something.
And it's like, how dare you?
Yeah. No, anyway, but I heard that on the radio today. They've been planning it for 10 years. So, it's like,
it was
knew he was going to die.
They didn't need Alicent's permission to do anything.
Yeah, there's a purple light.
She is now the Queen Dowager. She's not the sitting queen. She has zero power.
Well, the only thing is now the only thing that they might have needed her for, though, is she would have had to have convinced Aegon, I think. I don't think he would have done it without her pushing him.
Yeah, they did have to run the boy down. I don't know. I guess
he would have. I mean, Otto would have.
To avoid the
Otto would
have.
I don't think
they didn't need her for anything. Like, why do you think both Krispy Kreme and the twins were chasing after Aegon? Because Alicent knew that she had no power, and she had to get to Aegon first. Yeah. Because otherwise, Otto would have been the one.
Otherwise, she wouldn't have sent them at all. She would have just let her dad handle it.
Oh, did someone say Cersei? I didn't hear that.
I said when you brought off the power of a Queen Dowager, that's what
the Queen Dowager.
Yeah. Okay, but we're not talking about Cersei, though. Cersei is a completely different brand of woman.
Yeah. I wasn't relating Alicent.
And Joffrey wasn't really of age yet, I don't think either.
No, he was a minor, but still.
I agree with
Aegon is.
Who is that? Whatever. I can't make a name I can say. It's Hay. But yeah, I do agree with you.
I think we were all in agreement. Let's just carry on. I apologize for any earlier things I said. Okay. So where are we at now? We
are at the really disturbing birthing scene.
Oh yes.
Poor baby Senya.
Oh,
okay, can I just say one thing that kind of bothered me? There were in the behind the scenes, the director referred to the child as the unborn child. And I'm like, dude, she gave birth to that child. That is not an unborn child. It's a stillbirth, but it's not like she gave birth to that child. And then it was so weird because then I ended up watching this documentary. No, it wasn't a documentary. Did you guys ever watch Today I Found Out? there are
No.
things called. Have you ever heard of? It's called a coffin death or coffin birth. I should say. Have you ever heard
It's
of
called
that before?
not aliving now. I mean, I don't know. There's so many new
No.
Coffin.
terms.
Explain.
Anyways,
What
it's
is
when
that?
a woman has passed away and she gives birth to a baby after
Oh,
she's passed away. It's called a coffin birth. And I was like, so I watched this whole documentary thing on it yesterday. I was like, whoa, that is so crazy.
That's
so
morbid.
it happens apparently, but usually the baby dies though, right? But occasionally, on very rare occasions, the baby has been alive. Isn't
That's
that
a green
crazy?
card. Yeah, that's
But anyway, so technically speaking,
Weird.
she was preterm, like she wasn't fully.
Yeah, she
baby
was a month
wasn't fully-
away.
She was a month away, and so the baby, was not ready to come out. But obviously, I guess because of stress. But anyway, so I just wanted to say that I think that that's technically that's a stillbirth, but the child is born.
Yeah.
well,
Not
they
an
were
unborn
very
child.
adamant
That was
about
a
showing as much grotesque, like I mean, I'm all for the showing of the birth, but I wish they would have just actually shown the other births, and that I feel like it gets to a point where they were trying to go there a little bit too much with the show, especially with the violence and everything. They should have just went there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What
I know
I
it
was
might
confused
be-
about though is what the midwives were saying. Let us help you, and I'm like, how?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I'm all
What are you-
about showing
what are
it,
you
but
gonna
like don't
do?
half
Like-
step it a million
At
times.
least
I
one of
mean-
them could have caught the baby. Let's say
Yeah.
maybe even it was alive for a little bit. There's no chance now because it came shooting out head first onto a stone floor. Like Jesus.
Yeah, they're oops. And
Oh,
like,
thanks,
what is your
natural
job?
selection.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's very cool. I didn't know if the baby is born in the amniotic sac, it's called a mermaid birth.
Yeah, I consume
And you can
my
hear,
twin.
and its cries, it's called the siren song.
Yeah, no, I think the umbilical cord was wrapped around the baby's neck.
And
Now
the cord
midwives
wrapped
can
around his neck,
actually
yeah.
they can actually go in and fix that though, right?
Yeah.
So that was what's
Yeah,
weird.
like
They go in with their
there
finger
were
and they pull it.
She could have been helped, but like she didn't want anyone's help at all.
I think Tony
Yeah.
brought it up though. I mean, they should have got the baby, help or no help. Don't let the baby fall. Like
Don't
three
let the
stories.
baby fall right on the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was like the movie Perfume. I don't know if you've ever seen it. The very first scene is this woman working at a stall, and she just basically gives birth to a baby and kicks it, and it's just like, and it turns out it's the protagonist from the movie. It's the main.
Oh yeah,
character in the movie.
that movie's disturbing.
I
Oh,
could have
it's
two
so
sets of DNA
disturbing.
because I consumed my twin. They didn't know it was a twin birth, but they found out. So like I had two
Oh,
sets
thanks,
of DNA.
Leon.
Your fetus was a kinslayer.
Or is that Leanne?
Yeah,
That's
I am.
Leanne.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I took care of that.
And see, I remember one line saying where they said Rhaenyra was yelling, "Hurry up and get this thing out of me," so she could like hurry up and like get to the war room and continue. So I don't think she told them to stay away in the book, but that could also be me misremembering something.
But also, if somebody in labor says stay away, and like the baby's gonna die, like you need to still be like a lot of people in pain, and they say things. You need to keep your composure and catch the baby. I don't care if she said, "Hey, let me just kill this baby." No, catch the baby. You know what I mean?
I have to say another thing. Wow, the same documentary I was watching last night, Carl. Do you know what the oldest form of birth control is?
In the
This-
water.
And I
This
mean
sounds like this is
thousands
gonna
of
go
years
bad.
old. Thousands of
I
years
think it's
old.
a needle soup or something. I know it's a tea.
No, it's the withdrawal method. The
Oh.
withdrawal method is
the pull out.
oldest. Pull
What
out
is
is
that?
the full like withdrawal.
Yeah,
like,
when you haven't when the guy pulls out having sex before the ejaculation.
See,
Yes.
See?
Yeah.
That's
That
good
is
health
the
advice.
oldest-
I mean,
form
it
of birth
works on
control.
Bridgerton.
That's a
Yeah.
okay.
The oldest form of birth control. I
Apparently-
thought you said like the oldest form of birth. Okay, I didn't
Birth
catch the
control,
birth control.
birth
in there.
control.
Gotcha,
We're talking
gotcha.
about fun control
And
here. We're talking about having
apparently
some fun.
it's like 89% effective in a
Yeah.
year. Like
That's what I've told people.
but
and they
if
wanna
you're
say
doing it
no.
correctly, apparently it's like 98%. Like this whole idea of like
Jesus, Heidi,
what
we-
they used
we
to
gotta-
say. Well, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm just thinking regarding the teas and stuff, but on
Jesus, be your condom.
It's like if you drive drunk, like playing Russian roulette. You know what I mean? Like it's 80% sure to be okay.
yeah. And
Like-
anyways, this Today I Found Out. And then and I love that guy, by the way, Simon, who does Today I Found Out. And then because he was talking about bumping
Everything.
uglies and stuff, he's so funny. But then they were also saying that they did use, we were talking about the teas, they would use different herbal remedies to prevent pregnancy. And some of them they would drink like a tea. So that was, and one of them was Queen Anne's lace. So that was one of them. So I just thought I would throw that over there.
Queen Anne was a very fancy, sophisticated lady.
Exactly.
Right?
We're putting a disclaimer up, everybody. I am not Dr. Ruth Munchausen or whatever her name is. Dr. Ruth.
Also,
we're going way left again. Right, God, thank you, 30 days. Thank you.
Thank you, 30 days.
Bring it back.
Hey, all I'll say is many of my friends that have herpes have latex, allergies. So
and then
you know what I mean?
Condoms have been around for a very long time. Yes, thank you. Dragon skin condoms are called the Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The rib for your pleasure.
Oh, funny until you got a big grain on your technique.
No, okay, yo, that's our hashtag for the night, people. All right, hashtag Dragon Skin Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Get it trending. Get it trending.
Coming in hot. All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
Kill me.
That is fun. That is good that we know that now, Heidi. This is
just
fantastic.
because we're always talking about there's so many pregnancies in this show. There's so many children.
Why didn't they just do the logical thing and pull out? I mean, Jesus, what are these people?
89% effective.
Stop saying that number. That number cannot be right. But anyways, let's go.
I'm not saying it's a good
topic.
form of birth control in 2022, but I'm just
89% right by everybody.
Imagine
you're
like, you're a woman who's like barefoot and pregnant like all the time. That you'd be like, dude, like, please don't come in me. Okay. Like, I just don't want any more babies. I mean, imagine like, this is one of the things they were talking about behind the scenes.
I know, I get it.
Imagine like you've just found out this thing about your dad. He's passed away, and then and then someone's usurped your crown, and then you have to go into labor and have a baby. Like, fuck off, universe!
Man,
like,
talk about
what are
a
you
Monday.
doing to me here?
And then the baby, and it was gonna be like the only girl the actual daughter that you never had. Come on, girl. I mean, outside of
Well, I was going to say Terra Incognita. There actually was funny. Back to Simon from today. I found out he was talking about they used to have a washable condom. Isn't that?
Yeah, they did.
I am Dr. Ruth Westheimer, and I'm bringing you Sexually Speaking. You're on the air.
Yeah, it's
So that's
they're not dishwasher safe. Just so you guys.
No,
know.
they're not. You have to. No, you can put them on the top rack.
No, you cannot. You cannot. But why even use them? You could just have the 89% effective method. All right. Anyways, we're all done after this, Heidi. I hope you can pay for everything I need for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Your therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Your medication.
I don't have kids. Yeah, I don't want them. 89% not close enough. But to the show. Expensive. Yeah, Damon wasn't so upset about the miscarriage. Did he even acknowledge it?
We were saying this earlier before you got here. She was calling to him and he never went. But it would have been like probably too traumatic. I mean,
I think that was him dealing with that bit of trauma.
Yeah, up until like the 1970s, I don't even think men were in the the labor room. I think that's pretty, only in the last 30 or 40 years that's happened. I don't even think my dad was in the labor room.
Real man knows he's too weak to even have a kid.
I know. I know when my mom went into labor with me, she was at a beauty salon. That was fun. So she went all beautiful and made up to the hospital with me. That's why I'm so gorgeous.
Aww.
And my dad, when he got the news that my mom went to labor, he was in the middle of a meeting. He's a lawyer. He was in the middle of a meeting. He went, yay! I think he ran all the red lights. I think he might have caused a few go rushing to the hospital.
I have to say, the one thing I do agree about Damon, and one of the things he did say is he grieves differently, and I really appreciated that. Him, the first one was he goes to the brothel, he grieves differently, he gets wasted or whatever he does, or he, someone was saying there's that meme of him on the beach. Have you guys seen that with the sword? It's an outtake, I think. I think it's just from. I think it's pictures from him from behind the scenes, but it's just there's one of him just lying on the sand. There's another one of him just holding his sword, Dark Sister, and they're so cute. And someone's made like this montage of it. It just sort of looks like sad Damon. But and then also like at the funeral for Amira's mom, he whispers to her,
and when for Lena's death,
yes,
for Lena's death, I don't think when he could have been comforting his daughters, he just didn't know how to deal. either.
Unclear. Yeah, unclear. He's unclear.
Well, they cut that. They cut a part of that though.
Yeah,
There is that picture that came out, and I think that's a disservice to his character. It doesn't make sense to me why they would cut that part out.
Oh dear, that's
A lot
terrible,
doesn't
Carla.
make sense to me.
I'm so sorry.
The one thing though about okay, so let's talk
people
about
still talking
Otto showing up. Can we talk about Otto showing up? How many times is that
His
dude
second
gonna
time
walk?
being a dummy on the bridge.
Like, oh my god, how many times you get rewarded for asking for death, like, and not getting it? Like he walked, like if he would have every single time, these 2 times, he would have said, "Hey Justin, guess what I'm doing?" I'm like, hopefully not going to Dragonstone, you stupid asshole. And like he'd be like, "I'm going to Dragonstone," with like, "I'm just going there, no dragons, no nothing. I'm gonna be a wild man about it." And I'm like, "Oh dude, you're dead. You're gonna die. I'll never see you again. I wish I would have borrowed money from you. Goodbye." No, he's come back twice now.
He's
like,
gambling.
Oh,
with his
you mean
each
Otto?
time, and each time
my
Caraxes
God.
came out like, "Bro, you back here talking shit again?"
He's like, "I'm back. It's me. Hey everybody, it's me. I've been plotting against y'all. This is all pretty much on me. If you look into it, you all know this. I know. Okay, so anyways, fuck you guys. What do you guys say about that? What? There's a dragon. You're not gonna be a dick, are you? Don't use your dragon on me. Like he does. It seems like that guy's willing to die at any moment. I mean, I have no other. He's insane.
I mean, the gigantic balls he has to just show up, like
he has no right to.
Daddy big nuts.
I don't know.
I mean, he's gonna pay for that eventually, but I'm just saying,
Oh,
I don't know why he's not dead yet.
Otto had his pin taken from him twice. Like that's gotta really hurt, right? Like that. Like
he shouldn't have been fucking up.
And I kind of wish that Rhaenyra did remember when Tyrion threw his pin, like, "I'm mad at you." Tossed his pin. That would have been funny.
I'm glad she pulled it off and tossed it over the bridge.
It's like if you rob the bank. It's like you rob. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just saying, if you rob the bank and then you came back to the police station because you dropped your wallet and you're like, "Hey, can I get this wallet back?" Like Otto just gets away with anything. Like these plans don't make sense.
Absurd.
Like honestly, I wanted so bad him just talking, saying, "Oh, Aegon has the crown, he has the sword, he has the whatever," and like Rhaenyra just like stone face, just listening. And when he's done, she just goes, "Dracarys, boom!"
Yeah.
I want that to happen so bad.
Well, it was really weird because they were in the exact same position. Did you notice that? As like
I mean,
episode 2 or whatever.
It was an allusion to episode 2. It was a clear allusion.
Yeah. Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, yeah, they're both like, except the first time we had.
She was on Otto's side, not on Damon's side.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
And I also love. I did love Otto's face when he saw the crown on Rhaenyra. It's like, how the fuck did you?
How did you get that shit?
Like, Arcane already has
3D printer in her castle, and she printed one up.
He's got the sword, so it's pretty much a done deal.
Well, they say, yeah, I know, that's sort of funny. It made me laugh. It's kind of like Joffrey, like at the Battle of Blackwater or whatever, and they kind of dress him up and they put him in that outfit and they give him the sword, but he doesn't know what the fuck to do. He's just like, I don't know. He wants to hide in the little room with the women.
Well, you wanted to protect them.
Do you want to kiss my blade, my lady? Sort of like that.
Joffrey is such a cool guy. You forget that.
I love Joffrey.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like everything about him. But anyways, I think cool behavior on Joffrey. I think that But they're saying that the legitimacy, the he's already been made a king by the was it the of Canterbury, the
Duke of Canterbury?
No.
Canterbury's house?
The Archbishop of who crowns a king? The Archbishop of
Canterbury?
Yeah. Okay. Like they are saying like things because they know it's all like bullshit, but they're the royals, so they know they run off myth. So they're like, it's already been done. So that is powerful that he has the sword and he has all the accessories and all.
Well, it's kind of like it made me. I was thinking about this today. It's sort of like, possession is 9/10 of the law. Yeah. So he's sitting in the Iron Throne. Well, actually, I guess technically he hasn't yet, but he's got the sword, he's got the dagger. What else? He has the crown, even though it's 3D printed and ugly. and
The
has no
Conqueror's
rubies.
crown. He has the same name.
It only has one ruby that you have
Like,
to
how does it only
use a
have one
magnif-
ruby?
You have to have a
Because
magnifying glass to look at.
Not even a big ruby. It's just a teeny tiny one.
It's how you use a ruby, and he's using
Yeah,
it well.
it's not the size of the ruby; it's the motion of the ocean, or
Yeah.
something like.
I suppose.
89% of the time,
No.
all the time.
What do
No.
you mean? What Commonwealth heritage? Did I have some Commonwealth heritage there, Justin?
We're all monarchists here, so leave it alone.
Yes.
Okay. But no, yeah.
The High
but-
Septon, yes,
I know.
thank you.
I know the High Septon would be the person, but I'm saying in real life, I was making sure.
Yeah, it would be the Archbishop of Canterbury. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like, marriage is between
Marriage.
two people who
I like how the
love
high.
one
in,
another.
Marriage.
in Game of Thrones,
Shit.
the original, we had a High Septon with a scam.
Wow.
One ruby. Yeah, I think that they're in the same
Yeah,
place for
I'll
Aegon's.
definitely-
You
Oh,
think
no, it's
Otto
like-
doesn't
That
know
was
about
a theory
messengers?
that folks were
They were
running
stolen?
around Twitter for a while, that it was Aemon that actually stole them, and instead of the sapphire, we would see him with the fake ruby in his eye. I'm
That
like,
would've-
man, that just didn't fit. That didn't
Ah.
fit for Aemon's personality to me.
Yeah, someone
Um,
was saying maybe the rubies went lost or like went missing, but I'm like, no, they don't. There's no setting for them.
Yeah.
There's no setting. It's just an ugly 3D printed crown that looks kind of like maybe the top of a castle or something.
Well,
You know,
when you're
that's
gonna
sort of-
conquer a land, like the last thing on your mind
supposed
is
to be
like, look like a
Valyrian
hat.
steel, and it looks like styrofoam and
It could be.
warbler or something.
Yeah, I wasn't happy
Oh, yeah, she is.
with the look of the crowns or the weapons.
Well,
for
they
this
they
season.
went to Burger King for lunch, and they're like, no. But
Oh
you think
my
that
god,
Otto?
natural! You're so funny.
What if he finds out about
Oh, yeah.
couriers? Like, what if Otto finds out about messengers? He's like, holy shit, those things exist. Like, yeah, dude, you can send messages. Like, we got a whole like.
Hello,
bunch
did you
of
not
people
see
to do
him
that.
rolling a doobie, and he was
Who
looking
knows
at
about messengers?
That
He-
dude.
he had it,
needs
he
to
was
be
rolling
smoking
it.
something.
and he was licking it, like, you know, and then like that, and then he's like, "Where's the candle?"
Yeah, he's like, I gotta
I
do
think-
this spliff real quick, and then I'm gonna go and get murdered.
I think Otto is a clout chaser. I mean,
Yeah.
like you can see when he had that meeting with Massaria, well, where he's supposed to be in disguise and not letting anyone see who he is. He's walking around with the hand of the king pin clear on display for everyone to see.
Yeah, he's
So
either
then now it comes here.
smart or
He has to let everyone see that this is
It's
him.
true, Dave.
He has to go over there and be the badass. At least is whatever the definition of a badass is in his eyes. to go
Yes, a
and do
literal
that all the
high.
time.
That's exactly what it is. Why so curious? A literal high tower. That's what exactly. That's what the crown looks like. It looks like the cap of the high tower.
Yeah.
Wow, I have to go back and look at that now. That's amazing.
Well, they got sick of wearing nothing but green. Or Jesus, can't we convey this in any other way?
Well, that's the other thing.
Why is
I was,
Allison the only one wearing green?
no, a
Because
bunch of people are wearing green.
Makes her eyes pop. Okay.
This is what I'm worried about next season, Tatiana. I don't know what's going to happen with the costumes because it's going to be just
You're
like,
all
oh my god,
You're gonna see green. You're gonna see
It's gonna be
green, and black.
and red.
Yeah, it's whatever you're buried in at a certain point during this
Yeah.
whole thing. So it's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Otto Hightower is going to not get away with that shit forever.
Like the last two episodes, in the last two seasons.
Yeah, the kids are wearing it. And Otto's wearing it now.
It's hard to wear anything when you're
And even
doing what
you know what?
Aegon
Someone was
does.
even pointing out that the Lannister guy, not Jamie Lannister. What's the other Lannister's name? Kevin Lancel. No, the one in this. The one in this. The one that's on the Green
he's
Council.
from Vikings.
Jason and
Jason
Jason
Lannister.
Lannister.
His
Contemporary
costume is
name.
a little bit green. It was a good bit green as well.
I like.
Oh
how
no, you
he's-
mean Thailand? Thailand Lannister's the one in the
Kylan
council.
Lannister.
Thailand, that's right.
I'd like to see a Chad Lannister, like Chad.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
Chad.
and Dick.
There's,
Yeah.
there should
Richard.
Hugh Preston Jacobs and
I'm-
Chad Summerchild.
Oh,
Kylan
yeah.
and Jason.
What's your name? Vic Lannister.
Kevin
with
No,
one
there's a
eyebrow.
Kevin Lannister. That's Tywin's brother.
That's
right?
Tywin's brother.
Yeah, so there's Kevin, there's Lancel is the one that Cersei has a little fling with and ends up becoming part of the
Lancel.
Faith at Seven.
So he's nice.
By the way, his wig was so bad. Like, you know,
But
like
that's his hair.
well, no, they had him shaved later, right? But Lancel's wig, like in season one, when Cersei's
Lance,
having
I'm
an
sorry.
affair with him,
Looks
it was so
horrible.
bad. He was wearing like a little beret and he had like this really bad wig, and it was so
Cersei
bad.
liked
Tatiana,
it.
do you remember that?
Which one? What?
Lancel Lannister, the one that it was Cersei's cousin, and she was having an affair with him.
Oh yeah, the wig.
The wig was so bad, and then he's wearing
It
like
was-
a little cap or something like with it. It was
Like a
so
beret.
bad.
Such a little bitch.
Yeah,
Oh my
he was
god.
like he was the squire, I think, for Robert.
Yeah, I think he was
Well,
like the
yeah.
squire or the
Well, he was
cupbearer.
supposed to-
I think
yeah.
Or the cupbearer.
The cupbearer.
Because doesn't
Yeah,
Robert
that's
say?
Gotcha.
Doesn't he tell him to get? Yeah, he tells him to get an armor stretcher, right?
Yeah, get the
if,
breast
he was a
stretcher.
squire, he would have known that's something that doesn't exist.
Well,
No, he
he's
was
the-
an
yeah.
idiot, though, right? He was
That's
kind
why
of an
they
idiot.
used him. They had
I mean,
him.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's why he was so
Cersei's
pliable
like-
to the
Cersei's like,
faithful.
get out of my bed, get out.
Fandom, it's not gonna happen. Fandom.
All I gotta say is, yeah.
I need you
Oh
to move
yeah.
past that.
No, we weren't talking about Cersei, were we? Oh, we were. Sorry.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, if she got with,
He
I
was
mean, I think
cute with that wig.
David's got a chance if Lancel got up, and you know what I mean. David's a good guy. I'll
Yeah.
back you on this endeavor, sir. 89%.
He just wanted he kind of likes Cersei. He kind of, I think, had a thing for her, and
No,
she's just
he
like,
kind
get out
of.
of here.
No, I've known. Yeah, no.
Oh, wait, are you talking about Lancel or Fandom?
Yeah,
Lancel.
Fandom definitely.
Lance,
got
well,
something
we
to-
know
oh.
Fandom does.
Okay,
No,
got it.
Lancel had a thing for Cersei, but she just wanted to get rid of him, and then that's why I think he did that. What is that
He
thing
went through
that
the face.
nice guys do?
He
You
pulled
know,
Yeah.
Crispy.
He pulled a Krispy Kreme and he went to the Faith and routed her
Yeah, it
out.
became a different type of insufferable. It's like when you know somebody that, you get what I
Mhm.
mean. They're going, now I'm all about this. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah.
You're still just insufferable. So please leave me alone.
So, so we talked about. Should we talk about the coronation of Rhaenyra? And well, first of all, did you think that Damon needed to threaten those white cloaks?
No,
I mean,
but that's Damon.
I know, but
Unclear.
girl, the paranoia. Once you
That's
get
good.
news that not only has the king died, but someone else has been crowned king.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think they said this in the behind the scenes. The Kingsguard bring legitimacy to the king because they had served the king. They are the Secret Service. So they could have just as easily just gone and said, "No, there's a new king now. We're gonna serve him because he's been crowned." Did you get the message that he got crowned? So that's the king. So yeah, he had to assure that no, these are loyal to the queen.
Yeah, because they could have easily been spies, and the minute they get the chance, there goes Rhaenyra getting gutted.
Counterpoint. That is the worst way to find out if you have spies. That is the worst
By threatening
absolute
them?
way. By yes, it's saying, "Oh, you're gonna die if you don't say so," and they're like, "Okay." They're like, "Now I know they're good." No, actually, just let them pledge to you and watch their behavior. Counterpoint. That is the worst way to put out a spy. Right there. That makes.
I
no
mean, I'm
sense.
not saying it was a good idea, but I mean,
No, it's Damon, so unclear.
I mean, the shot. I mean, to be fair, the shot of spicy noodle being right behind Damon, that was great. I love that. It looks so good.
But if we all knew this was coming, because we all say it was so obvious the Greens were going to do this, it should have been obvious to Damon and everybody else too. This shouldn't be that big of a shock that they're doing this, as you guys say. So it's like, again, Damon, why aren't you preparing these children whose pure job to keep their job and their life in your family will be to fight for this crown? And you're just so
thanks,
unprepared.
Jackie. I actually just took mine off because it was kind of. But I'll put it back on for you for a little bit.
I don't know. It's just Damon. I think that they got to handle him a little bit better. I think that they don't want to. I think that they got moments they got planned for him, and they're juggling him in between. That's how I feel.
I actually love how he used the expression turncloak. I turned to Jack and I said, "Isn't that awesome how they actually used the word turncloak?" I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Because you don't ever usually see it in a context of somebody actually wearing a cloak.
Not so spot on. Yeah.
Yeah, not so spot on. Usually it's just, I don't know. But I thought that was kind of cool.
They're like,
I'm
is
just
my
throwing it out
cloak
there.
on back? Maybe they're like, my cloak is on backwards. What is he?
What do you mean?
Sarah?
Oh, what do you mean?
Sure.
It's like
Yeah,
a cat, trying to chase his tail, going, "What do you mean? What's going on there?"
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, and you're dragging there? Yeah, I'm definitely with you, bro. What you should say is, hey, bro, are you with me? They're like, yeah. I'm like, are you going to be cool?
All
They're
right,
like, yeah.
man.
I'm like,
All
all
right,
right,
man.
man. Otto's going to be coming by to
Yeah.
say what up. Yeah, so just get ready for that. He'll
See, I
be
don't
fine.
remember well, I think they used turncloak, meaning someone who, is a turncloak,
Is he traitor?
a traitor, exactly. But in this case, they were actually wearing cloaks. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I
Were
think
they
it
wearing
comes-
cloaks
yeah.
in Game of Thrones?
Probably. Fair enough.
Like a
fair game.
backstabber. It'd be like, it'd be like if someone had a dagger and was about to stab someone's back, and someone used the term backstabber.
Yeah, but don't be a backstabber. Excuse me? Oh, nothing. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, Vanessa, are you here?
Oh,
there you are.
Vanessa.
Yeah, Theon. Yeah, exactly. By the way, I miss Theon. I really liked him.
Oh, we all loved what was the actor's name? Alfie Bow. No, that's not it. Alfie.
Yeah, his sister
Alfie played him well, but yeah, I still say fuck
his sister is also an actress, I think. I think she's married to
Oh yeah, no, Lily.
She's the one that
She's a singer.
encouraged him to
Is it Lily Collins?
go for the role.
Yeah, Lily Collins. Yeah, she's
Alfie Allen. That's it.
Yeah.
Alfie Allen, thank you. And Lily Allen.
You. And Lily Allen. Yes.
Sorry, yeah. She is. Don't you know her song?
No, what is it?
It's not plural. I think it's just one.
Lily Allen. She's a singer. Is she the one who's married, by the way, to Elon Musk?
No. That was a girl from Westworld, and he's not with her anymore.
No. He's with a new woman. They have a baby together.
Oh. Well, I
Justin,
wish them...
keep up. Come on with this celebrity gossip.
Well, he's on Mars, so do whatever he wants. He was nerdy, and now he's riched himself handsome. So good, do whatever he wants to do. And Jeff Bezos.
So the other Lily Collins is actually the what was his name from.
I'll look it up when we're doing it. But what do we think about about Rhaenyra's noble endeavor to say it is about the people? Do we believe that? We buy in that? I mean, that's the right thing to say. I think it's the right thing to say, but do we buy it? I mean, I guess. I think
at this point she is thinking that.
No, I know she doesn't think that right now.
Emulate her father at this point, and trying to keep the peace that her father and great grandfather strove for. I mean, Viserys didn't do a good job of keeping the family peaceful, but the land was peaceful, basically. Because she's striving to keep that. So, and because she's trying to emulate her dad. So, yes, I do buy, because everyone, Damon and all her council are chomping at the bits to just go to war. Justice, go to war. And she's like, no, think about the people, because otherwise, what other thing would she be doing? She doesn't have anyone to impress. She's a queen.
Yeah, no, she's right. I get but I mean, as a character, do we buy it by what she's exhibited from what we've seen? I thought it was a little bit of a stretch, but I'm still with it.
I buy it. I buy it because I think she's trying to honor her dad.
Yeah. Because
her dad at the 11th hour stepped up to protect her.
And I do believe she's being a true people in the chat. I'm not disagreeing with the valor of the whole thing. I'm asking, do we buy it as her as a character from what we've been given in 10 episodes? That's the takeaway. And I'm with Tatiana. I think that the connection to the father and being true to it does trump. So I think it's barely there, but I think they get past the line with it for sure.
I mean,
she's grown to be more wise.
Yeah. She's not as reckless as she used to be. I think she has. I mean, I think that's essentially why Rhaenys joins her, because she sees, she has grown, she has matured, she could be a good queen, and she could have what I couldn't.
Yeah, you just think that this inaction is the worst action you can take, and that's what Viserys did. He also had, the road to hell is paved with good intentions and all that. So, the worst thing she could do, but I do believe you'd still do it because that is your dad. So it's like you channel that, but man, could you not be channeling a worse thing when you're setting out? And somebody brought up earlier correctly in the chat that Jace seems like he can handle himself. I do. Yeah, I'm with that. They have depicted that Jace can handle himself. But you're sending out some pretty, I'm going to call it, just say soft boys out there. And you're being pretty, lenient. Otto's just stopping by, having a fucking doobie. And saying, what up? Hey, we usurped the throne. And you're being pretty laissez-faire about the whole thing. So, this inaction is, they want peace so bad that you're going to have to fight a war to get it. You know what I mean? It's what it's coming to.
Pretty much.
It's interesting, though. I think that, I mean, it's well done. I believe both people want to do what they do. I I don't know. It left us wanting. Isn't that what TV is supposed to do?
Oh, by the way, Justin, Jobo is asking if you're clipping your toenails.
Why would I do that?
I don't know, because you look like you're like hunched over something, and you look like you're.
Oh, I was reading my phone. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was on my phone. Yeah. No, I wasn't supposed to be here, so you know, you get what you get. I don't. They do
go off on.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they want the clippings, it's fine. I'll send them.
Although I did want to go a little bit back to the beginning when to the conversation that Rhaenyra and Luke have, where him not wanting to be like Lord Tides, and he goes and says like, I could never be like my mom, who's like someone so perfect. And I'm like, ah, you little bitch, I like you. You're gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna have a really nice funeral. You nice boy. You nice boy with your nice funeral that I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
It's like, oh, and she's like, oh, because you can just see the tenderness. It's like, and you know that Allison never had that moment with her children. Like, because like
Allison don't like her kids.
Well, she don't like her kids. I mean, I think she might like Helena the best out of the three out of all of them, at least the three that we see, because they're still with Daron in Old Town. Mm-hmm. But like, she doesn't. I think it's also part of it. I think we talked about this already, but it's like she was a teen mom. Her mom died when she was young, so she doesn't have that maternal example. And the children born out of duty instead of love.
Yeah.
So
somebody's bringing up the point of sending out the kids as messengers. I don't blame her, but I mean, I guess like here's where it comes into like pseudo like strategy and logistics of like battle of like, because the realistic thing to do would be to send scouts to these places, right? Because you'd have to imagine that the other side is doing the same thing, because you can't have people be badasses and stupid at the same time, even though television almost demands of a story, right? Yeah. For people to be like, oh, they got to be badass. Like, well, we're gonna need them to be pretty stupid to accomplish that. That's usually what happens, unfortunately. But like, yeah. So if you want to talk about, you can't blame. I don't blame her for any of it. It's what would happen. But when we get into that schematics, it's kind of like, yeah. But you'd also probably send some scouts.
I would have sent them with some guards.
Yeah. You know, maybe somebody with like a little binocular, one of those little ones. You know, be like, oh, there's a big ass dragon. Don't go there right now. Wait.
It's funny because even though like, you know, they show like just a very like a little tiny grouping of people that are on Dragonstone, really, I mean, there would have been quite a few people, I think, that would have been there, you know, that would have followed her what's the word for it, Justin? Like an entourage, not an entourage, but you know,
her what you just talking about, her supporters or her it would be an entourage. It would be her levy of people, the levy that she holds. I would think that the most people that are on Dragonstone are good with you guys. I mean, I can't say that for everybody, but as far as the threatening things, like those people that are there, and especially the people that are showing up now, like we saw with Eric, I think is his name, right? Like him showing up, like, you know, when shit goes down and you got a few boys that show up or a few girls, whoever your friends, you know, no he or her, but yeah, you got people that show up for you when shit goes down. Those are your true people. So they're seeing who their true people are. So that's
well, I mean, it's like her peeps, you know, like, I mean, Court would be the King's Landing. That's where Court is, like where people would be staying, but she's sort of like an offshoot. So, you know, it's kind of like we were doing when we were doing the Empress, they had like a summer palace, they had a winter palace, they had a hunting lodge, you know, like you have your different places.
They would go on I forget, there's a term for it, but yeah, they would go
summer
progress. Yes, on progress. So that's but somebody was bringing up Jace. Do you guys think it would have maybe gave a little bit more to these episodes if they would have fit in Jace getting and talking with some Starks, which would, you know, it's gonna, spoiler alert.
I don't think it was necessary at this point. Not right now.
Not necessary.
So you don't think it's going to happen next season?
No, it's definitely going to happen.
It might open. Probably like the beginning of the first episode is going to be Jace in Winterfell, and then Jace coming back, to Dragonstone and hearing about his brother's death.
Yeah,
I just feel like they held back maybe too much of the candy. They're like, here's like a quarter of a Snicker bar. The rest is ours.
I was saying earlier in the stream, I didn't even think they were going to get to the part with Jace going to Storm's End. I didn't even think we were going to get to that because it seemed like they were going to have to squeeze a lot in.
Yeah.
So I guess they just thought they needed to have some kind of big finale or whatever.
They left us wanting. That's what TV is, wanting more. We definitely want more, so they did it.
Apparently it was Matt Damon's idea to do that scene facing the fireplace, and where he brings her the note and tells her, to tell her that Jace has been killed and everything, and she's facing the fireplace and then turns around. Apparently that was Matt Smith's idea to do that.
Somebody has
honestly, I love that so much because it's like the loss of a child. That emotion, that initial emotion, it is not for. I didn't think it was for us to see. If they had showed her her face upon getting that news, her initial reaction, I think it would have been exploitative. So the fact that they didn't show that initial reaction, we can see her emotion just from like her back and just her hunching over in grief. That was, mwah. And then when she turns around and her face says, "I choose violence." Like,
did I say Matt Damon? Oh my god!
Yeah, you did.
I told her I took a gummy. I'm baked here, guys.
He goes, "It'd be wicked cool if we had Rhaenyra turn around and be like, oh, everything's getting all bluey over here." Come on.
The one thing I was gonna say, like the one thing that is, I have to say, it was sort of funny because I remember when I years ago I read all of the books on The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And then they did the movie. There was a really great foreign version of it, like a 3-parter that they did in Sweden. And I binged watched it. It was so good. And then they made an American movie of it by David Fincher. And I remember Simon saying there wasn't just one anal rape, but 2 anal rapes in this movie, right?
Yeah.
I was reading the comments and I came back just in time to hear anal rapes.
The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So years ago, I was saying in the book, there's not just 1 anal rape, but there's 2 anal rapes. Sorry, spoiler, if anybody hasn't read the books or seen the movie, the German movie or the Swedish movie or the American movie. But anyway.
Yeah, so put another tack on your rape count.
Exactly.
Get your anal rapes up the queue. Okay.
So someone said that there's not just 1, but 2. And I was like, that's kind of how I felt about this season. I'm like, there's not just 1 stillbirth, or there wasn't just 1 horrific birthing scene or 2 horrific birthing scenes. There's 3 horrific
4
birthing scenes. Is there 4?
Yeah, no, law of diminishing returns.
Emma, Lena, and two of Rhaenyra's.
I think they
okay, but the first one was okay. She had the baby, and it was like everything was okay, right? But you're right; it was a 4th birthing scene. You're right.
It was still pretty rough.
It was pretty rough, but it was pretty.
It was successful, but it was pretty
fairly
rough.
Successful. Really, I've had cesarean section, so I don't have that experience, but so yeah, it's horrific. I don't think we were trying to pretend it is. We were just saying, I'm like, there were not just 1 anal rape scenes, but 2 anal rape scenes. But in this season, we've had 4
anal rape scenes.
Yeah. I think that they should have been more true and showed it all on 1 rather than show so many halfway and kind of do it weird. It almost comes off as a little bit of shock for shock's sake. Honestly,
that's how I kind of felt about it.
Yeah.
I was going to say to you guys, actually, my boyfriend years ago, his brother and his partner had a baby, and I swear to God, she had the baby at the hospital, and then later she came home and she made Thanksgiving dinner. So it's not complete. If you have a healthy, normal birth, it's not completely abnormal. But at the same time, we talked about this, Tony, 3 or 4 whatever live stream it was. We talked about it that it was ridiculous that she did that. That was her decision to do that, to go climb the stairs. And actually, it could have turned out very badly for her. A lot of women hemorrhage out, after, because they don't have modern medicine like we do.
Yeah.
But any physician would say, I don't agree with you getting up and doing that after having a baby.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but he's also like, I'm hungry and it's Thanksgiving and I'm a prick. So
the other thing is, and this is what I'm wondering if they're going to play into, this is what I'm suspecting they're going to do. They're going to play into postpartum depression. This is what I think they're going to do in the next season, because
probably.
Yeah, She's had normally, I don't want to make any generalizations about postpartum psychosis or what have you, but I did have a postpartum depression, so I can speak to it a little bit. And oftentimes one of the things is that when you have your babies very close to each other, and she's had, a succession of children. So this was her sixth child, right? If I understand that.
Yeah.
And then she just lost it. And then having a sudden loss, and then having, the loss of a child. So I think they're going to play into that. I think they're going to play into the postpartum depression, possibly then into a postpartum psychosis. That's what I think, which is going to be too bad because, then it goes into the Mad Queen kind of thing. And,
well, I mean, she's going to be depressed. She lost her son. She lost her baby. I mean, she's lost a lot. I think that,
and her father, all in a fell swoop.
In a very short time.
I just think that it's worth saying that lack of a nuanced touch, meaning that I feel they want to show that they're going to go there with the battle, which I thought was very poorly done, and with the birthing, I actually want an actual birth. I want the birth to be shown all the way, not like for really like it almost means it's not Schadenfreude, but it's like it's kind of just over the. I'm not saying I want to see it. I want to make sure they depict it properly. I think they went a little bit for shock and awe with these pregnancies, and they did a bunch of them instead of doing one in a realistic, which is very gruesome, very hard to watch. But I think it would have done a better. If you want to depict something, depict it. Stop half stepping.
I think one would have been enough. And I mean, I don't know how they would have done Lena's, but I don't honestly think that they needed to show all of them. Like, I kind of agree. We were talking a little bit about this, Justin. You weren't in our last live stream, but we were talking about, and Rebecca knows exactly what I was talking about, that Hitchcock at one point was mentioning like shocking an audience. And so maybe you know what I'm talking about, Justin. There's ways to shock an audience. You could just like, even George says that. I could just have like
the bomb under the table is what you're talking about with Hitchcock, right?
Yes, the bomb under the table. Exactly. And I feel there's a little bit of that going on with this show. It's like, how can we push the envelope? How can we horrify an audience? Like I was saying, this show has been the best for birth control, even though the withdrawal method is very effective.
Oh my God, stop. No,
historians.
60% of the time it works all the time.
Yeah, no, but I was like, oh my God, like if you're a young woman watching this show, like, wouldn't you be like, fuck no, I'm not getting pregnant. Like, I'm not going through that. Who's going to be having a baby after watching House of the Dragon?
But that's not really their like, the thing is, I feel, and what you're talking about with the bond under the table, Hitchcock said, you show a scene, right, where you have a couple having a normal conversation over dinner. And he said it way weirder than I, because he was Hitchcock. And he said, and then a bomb goes off. He goes, so that's one way to tell it. You tell people there's a bomb under the table, still have that mundane conversation, right? That is suspense. Because shock lasts for a mere second. Suspense lasts far longer. So you want to depict, I think that they are more about saying that they're showing things than actually showing things, to be honest. I thought the battle was atrocious, and that's why I really didn't want to come on here.
Which one?
All of them, all of the action, every single bit. When we saw action from the tournament, to King's Landing slaying with Damon, to him and the Crab King, it was all ridiculous. If that would have been in season 8 of Game of Thrones, you people would be tearing it apart. It was ridiculous. That was nothing but Jon Snow in the Battle of the Bastards at first, when everything's missing him and we can see that, yeah, okay, the gods are on his side. That was ridiculous with Damon.
Yeah,
everything
Bullet Train's a great movie. Bullet Train's a great movie.
Lack of a nuanced touch. The show is not terrible. It's very entertaining, but I don't think it's nearly deserving the praise that it gets. I think that people are a little bit.
It's no hard home, that's for sure.
It's yeah, exactly. They build up Game of Thrones slowly. I mean, like, I know everybody hates Dan and Dave, but that's not a reason to ignore faults. And
Hard Home is like such a great episode, by the way. It's
like
they had the best
fighting,
episodes.
Realistic fighting, not just farting. Mm-hmm. I mean, when they cut off the guy's penis and then he has to fart too, he's like, have him fart too. It's like, Jesus Christ. Have some control. I'm sorry. Like, and that's why I said I didn't even want to come on. It's just a little bit ridiculous. Like, it's all this praise. It's not a terrible show, and it's entertaining, and it's its own being. Doesn't need to be what Game of Thrones was. But let's not ignore that this battle has been pretty fucking I don't know. It's
I was gonna say something about what S. Edwards is saying. Sorry, Tatiana, you go first, and I'll say it.
No, I was just gonna ask if you included this dragon chase into those battles, because I thought the dragon chase was pretty well done.
No, the last bit was the first soft touch I've seen them do, and most people consider that to be like the biggest. Now, want to know why it was the biggest thing? Because what we just talked about. You're right, the soft touch with it, the ambiguity in it, the way.
I mean, I love that. I love that there was no music. It was so not necessary.
The look on Eamon's face when he just took a life, how you would really feel, like a human feels, not like, oh, I'm gonna kill every noble son in a joust, because that's what fucking happens, right? No, that's not. Remember Sir Hugh that died, a guy from the Vale nobody gave a shit about? A war almost started over that. Like, that is like starting somewhere and building. You're right though. The last scene was done right. The last scene is done the way I think.
And it's great because in the making of I think the stunt choreographer or like the VFX choreographer for that scene, he said that he got like this tiny toy dragons, and he was just like filming himself just like wee like a little kid, and seeing how it was going to how the shot was going to be composited, I think, based on how he was moving the toys around. It was really funny.
Sorry. No, think about that though. Think about the most realistic depiction of violence we have, Tatiana, is dragon on dragon violence. So the shit in King's Landing that was just like, have him fart in the camera when you take his penis off randomly. You know what I mean? Here's a joust. Have every noble slay each other. Like, that's what happens, right? Oh, he's going to go in like a suicide mission and kill the guy with the, with the stone face. And it's just like, the first realistic thing that we believed, at least I'm saying I can't
who's Walmart Damon? Who's Walmart Damon?
I don't know. Was that I Tatiana touched it right there, that there is a sensitivity to it. There was a pure feeling to like what happened there. You saw Damon, this guy that wants an eye for an eye, got his eye and much more. And now he's digesting. And it's
I mean, honestly,
dramatic.
I think the thing that I love the most about that final scene, if we're going to be jumping ahead, is the fact that there was no music, because it's like you can hear the music when like Jace and Luke leave Dragonstone, but as Luke is going into the storm, it fades out, and everything else is just ambient noise and dialogue. And when little baby Luke like descends on the courtyard, and he looks to the side, and he sees great granny Vagar, who's apparently bigger than the goddamn castle, and just going raw, and he's like, oh shit.
Carl, I actually watched the Skull of Gladiatory. It was really good.
Also, that joust rules. No, joust rules are, guess how you score points? You hit the shield. You can't hit the horse. Also, if there's a melee after, that will be reserved for the melee. You can't go kill a noble first. Anybody, number one. Nobody's just going to be cool with that. How many people don't have their succession right because they got killed in this laissez faire? I guess we're going to show that we're going to go there in the first episode. So the joust rule is held by the person hosting it. Yeah, you're right. But they still have to play by the rules. It's not like a home run's not a home run. You got to like murder somebody and pop their eyes out and throw it to home plate, and then you get a point. That's like, it's a little bit of a stretch. No, that's not how that goes. But yeah, the sound of silence, Tatiana, the sound of silence, right?
Yeah.
With the death.
And honestly,
hey guys.
Honestly, I wouldn't. Oh, you have to go, Alicia.
Yeah, I gotta head out. So.
Oh, Alicia, I hope you're feeling better soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Whenever you want to do the wrap up, just let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. And just take it easy. Do you have another live stream to do tonight?
Yeah, I'll be jumping on with DJ and Fandom probably within the next 15 minutes or so.
Okay, if you want to leave a link in the description, go ahead, okay?
I will do so, and I will catch you guys in the next one.
Okay, I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you. See you guys.
Bye.
See you, dear.
No. I don't want to get technical or be rude about it, but it's that's a little bit crazy. They could have depicted a little bit of mayhem without doing like World War III.
I
want to just read this comment here, guys, from Carl. He says, check out Skull of Gladiatoria channel for a breakdown and analysis of the fight scenes and armor in the show. It's much better and more accurate than you think. Actually, I did watch it, Carl. It was really good. I've been watching his channel for a while, and he did one on Lord of the Rings as well. It was really fun. On the I think it was the Ice Troll. No, it was really good. So he did one on the arrow, the one on the stepstones, Justin.
Yeah, but
The
we're talking
arrows.
about arrows penetrating things. We're not talking about if people would really murder people at a tourney, especially during a joust. You know what I mean?
Well,
So, but
I think
Matt Easton didn't speak to that. He didn't say that's what would have
no,
happened.
no, but I did talk to Red Wolf about that in our live stream about the armor. We had a chat about that. Yeah, that was kind of like that was. I think that they just wanted. I think it's back to they just wanted some violence for violence sake or something. I don't know what was going on there.
That doesn't do any good.
For where?
At the tourney for are you talking about the tourney?
Yeah. I think now that I've seen the entire season, I think episode 1 is probably the weakest.
Yeah,
because
I really liked it when I first saw it. But
don't get me wrong, I did really like the first episode, but like comparatively to the other episodes, it's probably the weakest because he has like the most.
Yeah. And it's funny because the first one, the first episode apparently they shot is the one of Lena's funeral. That was the first episode that they all got together, which was why we were getting all those the pictures and stuff from that episode. So they shot it out of order. I agree though, and I mean, Rebecca was saying, and I kind of agree with her on this, that I think we could have maybe, this is my opinion, either if we'd added an extra episode, even 2 extra episodes, and then had more time with the adults, because someone was saying this on Twitter today. Again, I keep reciting Twitter, that we weren't as emotionally invested, I think, with the kids because we didn't really have that much time with them because they kept age changing them. You know, it's not like we had them for like 3 seasons or something and then they were killed off or something. So it just like Laner. I mean, like there's so many deaths already. I mean, Viserys is the one I think we spent really the most time with.
Yeah.
And so that payoff, like you're just like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, honestly, I'm pretty hardcore. So I'm just like, whatever, he's dead. I'm not really that sad about it. But but at the same time, I was a little, no, I'm on medication.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was like, because I couldn't remember what had happened. But it wasn't much of a gut punch to me because I didn't feel invested in that character at all.
There's a storytelling reason for this, meaning a actual story structure reason, people, in which we have a disconnection with these children because of the jumps in time meaning the replacement of characters. Every single time you reintroduce a character, you must do what? You must reestablish that character because that character has changed actors. To do that, what you do is mention something about them, right? That you've already seen. It becomes redundant. So all of the dialogue that pretty much takes place in the intergenerational swaps, right? All of those episodes is rehashing events that happened, saying, hey, I'm Jace. Hey, I'm Luke, right? Like, remember when this happened? Hey, I'm Laenor. You get what I mean? Like you're going and you're rehashing things. So there's this static storytelling aspect that happens, meaning like everything comes to a halt when you're trying to move forward because you have to keep establishing who they are, right, to make sure the audience knows. So but again, that's like I won't really criticize. I'll just point that out, and that's something that they chose to do. That's what you have to do when you're structuring a story. You have to choose your poisons, and that's what they did. And I don't necessarily think it was the wrong choice, but that's the con of that choice. That's the con of showing all of this backstory, which I didn't even think they were going to show, and I'm kind of happy they did. But I do think it is like with the violence, when we talk about like we thought the violence was overkill when there wasn't even that much violence. I think that's what they were worried about. There wasn't that much action. So when there was action, you had to not only just cut somebody's genitals off, you have to have them fart too to show that you're going to go there in the next season, right? You know what I mean? Like that shows a lack of control to me. I
always imagine when, we have these things happen in the story that there's just a bunch of people in the Tatiana, we lost her. Okay. Hopefully she'll come back soon.
If another girl comes back and says she's Tatiana, all she has to do is establish something Tatiana's done before and then we're good.
I was just sorry, what we were talking about now. I've lost my train of thought.
I was just talking about like the pros and cons of the way in which they structured the story. I don't think that, again, like that's why I didn't even, I mean, I love you to death, Heidi, but I think I'm terrible to have on because I can get in this mood where it's like, it's not that great. I didn't think that like this was awesome or like this, like was that like, but I did find it very entertaining and I found it to be a good
show. A lot of people are agreeing with you in the chat. Like for instance, Vanessa's saying, oh, sorry, where'd she go? Vanessa, sorry, there you are. The deaths are set, but they don't hit the same way deaths like Hodor, Shireen, Ned, and even Lady. And like funny, like Ned was only with us for 8 episodes, right? Like so,
Yeah.
but so that obviously must speak to the writing of the show
The
and
importance of Ned to the characters that stayed with us.
yeah, and then the acting. Like, I mean, obviously, I just absolutely adore the actor who played Ned Stark and Sean. I've lost this.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. Of course, he's in Lord of the Rings as well, so he's fabulous.
But think about it, Heidi. The other choice. This is where I'm defending them as well, because the other choice is that all these deaths just to be literally like a footnote. Honestly, this whole season could have been considered prologue. It really could for this story. You know, like up until like the last 3 episodes, really, it really could have been. You could have talked about like a lot. Like I did not think they were going to go as far back. I thought we were going to have King Viserys for maybe 2 episodes max.
Yeah. No, that's a very good
I'm defending it as well.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but these are the choices.
If they were gonna give us Viserys as long as we did, I think then they needed to have a longer season or have it split between 2 seasons, like having maybe him die at the end of the season and then have it picked up. Like I kind of felt like that was a natural ending, like when he passed away, that would have been for me a really good ending, but it would have been nice if it had been maybe pulled out a little bit. You guys can tell us what you think in the chat.
I think they should have went further, so I do disagree, but I get where because all we're disagreeing at is a cutoff point. So like that's a very good cutoff point that you're giving as well. Like that's what I mean. It's all just like, you know how it is. It's a gamble.
Oh my God, poor Tatiana. Tatiana, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
He's getting kicked out. Oh, I'm so sorry. I had that happen to myself earlier too. I had it happen before I came on. I kept getting kicked out. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah,
my
internet
dumb, and Shireen was pretty obvious.
but I would say, and I hate, and this will sound rude to people, but A Song of Ice and Fire is about characters. House of the Dragon is about a situation. That's my take on it. This is a situation because events are not story, so we are getting the story of events. So you tend to get the Cliff Note version because remember the Titanic sank. You know that, but you didn't know about Jack and Rose, right? They taught you about Jack and Rose. Now, what if they would have went back to when Jack was just a young kid, right? Like, what if these are choices? These are payoffs. Like, how much do you want? And I'm not saying they made I think that the choices they made were brave.
For instance, but you bring up a good point. Like, so for instance, Titanic, the movie Titanic took place over what, like a week?
Yeah.
But whereas House of the Dragon takes place over many years, and then we've got like these time jumps and then switch in characters or actors, I should say, who play different characters. And so it's hard to get invested. And I was like, for instance, Corlys, I really wanted to be invested in Corlys, but he was kind of ill-used in the show. I didn't find he was used.
His absence is very questionable in these last episodes. I don't get
why they and then Harold Westerling, I was like, why aren't they using him? He's such an amazing actor and character. And so I felt like some of the cast were sort of ill-used. So that's why I felt like I think it could have been either stretched out into a longer season, like it could have been like Supernatural, like 28 episodes or something, 28 episodes of Supernatural. They used to do that. You know that in the old days, you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine?
The days.
Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer would have 40 episodes or something.
Yeah, but this is HBO. But what you're saying, but we have to realize, so it's every carry through character that we have, meaning our Damons, our Viserys, our Rhaenyras, or not even because she's multi-generational technically, but meaning the characters that we still have that have been since the beginning, think about them as the reason for the sacrifices of the people they recast, meaning the kids that they recast. So every time they take a hit in that emotional like loss for having like meaning a lack of connection to a character, you're doing it to build Corlys stronger, right? You're doing that so you have a deeper connection to him. So to not have him present in the last like 2-3 episodes pretty much is crazy to me. Because like that's the person that you're taking these choices because you could have easily started this series with flashbacks of Millie, and now I love Millie Aycock and whoever played Allison, even though I can't remember her name right now, I wasn't supposed to be here. Don't blame me. Emma, yeah, like I love them, but right, you could have had that as a flashback. You could have made that choice, right, and you would have cut off. So like there's but again, I'm not saying that's the right choice. I'm not saying I hate the way they went, but I'm just kind of trying to highlight for everybody like the pros and cons of it. Of telling a story like this. So it's a hard decision. Hard decision. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Green Council. They're like, oh, that would be a really good horror movie, actually. Have the Green Council be kind of like some kind of evil spirit. I was saying, by the way, that green and like I know they're called the greens and the blacks, but like they're kind of the red, black, and green. Those are like complementary colors, right? Like kind of Christmas. So I thought that was
Well,
kind of
red.
interesting.
Well, green and red are complementary
Green and red.
colors.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
part of this, it's a Christmas story, Heidi. Don't
it
you
is.
know?
It's a horror Christmas story.
It's all about
Yeah, it's
Christmas.
like Black Christmas.
It's all
Although
allegory.
I hear some on YouTube like questioning, are they going to be called the blacks or the reds? Because in this day and age, the blacks could have not. It doesn't sound great without context.
The optics
So-
aren't great on that, but I'm pretty sure the people have already made it common use, right? And it was common use before. I'm pretty
I
sure. they're
mean,
going-
I don't think anyone
Yeah.
has called Rhaenyra and
in the show. In the show.
Yeah.
They will
That's a
call
good
Corlys
her.
is technically one of he's one of the blacks. Corlys
Yeah,
Velaryon.
that's a damn Tatiana. That's a really good point. People, I want to know in the chat actually, besides hating me,
Yeah.
do you think that they'll do? That's a very good point because I talked about the fan consensus. It's
I
already
haven't
been
seen
done,
the
but
flag.
the show has not been done. You're right, they have not. Because I was surprised when they said the Greens. I was like, oh, they said the thing. I really hate how they keep saying a Song of Ice and Fire. To be clear, I really fucking hate it. I think that is. I think that's
Like-
cheesy as hell.
I
Tony's
think
saying
it's
red, black, and green are the black man colors pride.
But Tony, it was a Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
Don't you know? I'm like, shut up. You shut your fucking mouth. If I was on set, I'd be
I
like,
love
"Shut
that.
up."
I want someone to make me Dance of the Dragons Hallmark Christmas
Oh, it's
romance
about yeah.
movie.
Yeah, like a lawyer that has to go back to a small town but finds love
Yes.
with an old crush or whatever that
Yes.
garbage usually is. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that is a good
Poor
point. 'cause-
Corlys, he has the same outfit. He's been wearing the same outfit for 5 years. Like, get that man a new outfit.
Well, he had a tummy ache.
Obviously, there were a budget. It's so funny because I'm laughing. I'm laughing just imagining how this show was broken down. Okay, these are the characters we have, and these are how many outfits we're allowed per season. Well, okay, but we have 5 time jumps. so
Oh, you gotta.
work that out. How are you going to do that? Oh,
What
shit.
maniac in the red rooms, Heidi, was like, yeah, let's do 5. I'm just gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they have a
bigger
bigger
budget for the love of God.
The casting was like, what the? So how many? They're like,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Who you casting doesn't matter. Get some guy from a Geico commercial from like some Mid-East
Mhm.
local. You know what I mean? Not even freaking like national commercial.
What's the what's in that what is it called? It's that musical with the Jets. What's that called? West Side Story. What's the other group called? The Jets and the what?
The
what?
sharks.
The Sharks. Yeah, we could do that. We could do like the Jets and the Sharks with the Targaryens, where they have like daggers that they're like fighting.
And they
with
do
each
jazz
other.
hands when they come up with.
Oh,
They have to wear gloves then.
I
They can wear like team jackets or something with their sigils on the back.
All I want is
Never
somebody to
really-
go, don't you know, we're the blacks, and do a spin. And do a spin and be like, don't
And
you
then
know?
the girls will all wear like big skirts with like
Yeah.
crinolines under it. That would be
Yeah,
awesome,
we're
right?
the sharks.
Oh my god, I want to totally see this now. I want to totally see this.
A Son of Ice and Fire, the musical. It's stupider than you thought.
I think
All
that
right.
would be
I
so
mean-
good. Wouldn't that be like a dance off?
do you know they actually made a Lord of the Rings musical?
That
There is a Lord of the Rings.
I
It
know.
is also
I know. It was
big,
in Toronto.
It was one of the biggest bombs in West End history. Like apparently, I think one of the performers broke their leg because it got stuck in like the revolving the mechanism that revolved the floor, and like they said that his screams could be heard all over the theater. So something
Oh.
fucked
No,
up.
it was in Toronto. That I remember that I was in university at the time, and I was like, "What?" Because I'm like, "You're taking 3 novels and you're putting it into a 1 3-hour musical. Like, how is that even possible?"
I could maybe do it in an interlude.
Game
you
of
know what I mean?
Thrones
The piano, we're
musical
done.
would be good though.
It
They
would
could
be
do
I
it
mean,
kinda
they-
like
They did that for like. Didn't Coldplay do that for like Red Nose? The Red Nose thing.
they did. Yes.
It was
But
amazing.
I was thinking because it was kind of like I think I mentioned this before, like Blood Brothers. Tatiana, have you seen Blood Brothers?
That was the first musical I saw in West End when I was 16.
Oh my god, I saw it when I was in university. We went to England on a school trip, and I saw it in London. And I remember, so they show you the ending at the beginning, so they could do that with like House of the Dragon. She could show you the ending at the very beginning.
Show where
Like-
Otto was standing, get rid of Rhaenyra, and then go ahead.
Yeah, like so at the end of at the beginning of Blood Brothers, they showed the Blood Brothers, the twin brothers. I think they're twins, or they
Yeah,
twins?
they're twins.
I got rid of
Shooting each other.
Nice.
Actually,
then
no,
they go-
no. Actually, no. They show the aftermath of the mother seeing their, seeing their bodies, and she's just like standing there, like, what the fuck? I mean, just
But
breathing.
I was pretty sure they started with them shooting each other, and then they're dead, and then she finds them, right? The mother.
No, at least from what
Okay.
I.
Well, but theater groups do it differently too. I mean,
So anyway, so what happens is that both the boys end up dead. They both end up dead at the end. So
And
they
then
show it to you at the very
flashback.
beginning, and then they go in reverse order, and then you get to the end, and you're like, "Oh my god, they killed each other! Like, how could they do that? Even though you saw it at the very beginning, and you're bawling your eyes out, right, Tatiana? You're like bawling your eyes out."
because at the beginning it was just.
But honestly, if I remember correctly, maybe the company that you saw it with did it differently. But the one I saw it with in West End, it's that they're lying dead over there, just lying dead, and the mother is just like looking at them, and they're like, I think, putting blankets over their bodies, like making it like a crime scene and all that stuff. And then you go back and you're like, how the fuck did this happen?
And then you forget that it's going to happen, and then it happens again, and then you cry because you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, this is so awful." But Mike says they should do House of the Dragon on ice.
Well, how about this? Jon
totally
Snow.
go see that.
Jon Snow looks at the Night King. He goes, "You gonna fuck around all day, or you gonna dance?" I love that line right there, and they just go at it, and that's what happens. And I think that the West End's the best end, by the way.
I mean,
it all depends on what theater group was doing the most drugs.
Have you seen Encanto on Ice? I see like shorts of Encanto on Ice, and like when they do Isabella's song, like they're skating, but they made her fly. They like lift her up like by the arm, and she's just like a hurricane of jacaranda, just throwing petals everywhere, and like, oh my god! If you could be like that.
I saw actually in Canada, I've been to a couple of events where they've got Anna from Frozen, and they have like a skating rink, and she's skating and then performing and stuff like on ice.
I actually took my niece to see that on ice. Isn't Frozen just what Canada is? Isn't that just like what you walk out of your door and see?
Wasteland.
Yeah.
But I would think that would be good. So they could do House of the Dragon. They would show everything that happens at the beginning, and then they'll go through it all. But I mean, it would be squeezing.
Hey, a different medium. I'm down for any of it. It all is what it is. But they're gonna make you go see it live. I'll go. We'll drink Jack Daniels.
I'll try to do the end at the beginning. Because then anyway. So I don't know. I think for me personally, I just need I love Rhaenyra. I think the actress who's playing her. It's funny. I have to say this is a little bit meta. Actor. Sorry, I have to say this is a little bit meta. But Emma Darcy was in another show, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was the guy from like Shaun of the Dead, the actor from Shaun of the Dead.
The
skinny one or the not? Okay,
not Simon Pegg, but the other one.
Nick Frost.
And so what's it called?
Nick Frost.
Nick Frost, and they're in a show together. And it's kind of like about people who believe in like aliens or something like that. Anyways, Emma Darcy, I don't know if she is an alien. She's some kind of strange creature in the show, or they are a strange creature in the show. And in the show, one of the main character's sisters is a cosplayer, and she actually creates a Dalek for a convention that they go to, which is really funny. So she ends up I think winning best prize for cosplay for this Dalek that she creates. And but I thought it would be really, really kind of meta if the character was to create a Rhaenyra Targaryen cosplay of the character that she's of Rhaenyra, even though they have the other character in it.
I would do it. I would throw a lot of shit in their face and be like, if we can't do this, why'd you do this?
But also the fact that she's dressing up like a Dalek, which is like Matt Smith's show as well. It's sort of that's a little bit.
I will say her acting has really impressed me after I've seen interviews with her. She is a tremendous actor.
It's not Dalek, it's Dalek. Is it
It's
Daleks?
Dalek.
I was unaware of her
Dalek.
by any. I had never seen her in
garlic.
anything other than this, but her
I
acting
thought
was
I
tremendous.
There isn't, but there is.
Death in Pemberley. I think it's like supposed to be like a sequel to Pride and
Exactly. Thanks. Thank you, Natural. Yes. Thanks. I'm having issues with pronouns.
But no, I mean, I think we're all pretty happy with it. Though. I mean, it is what it is. So I mean, I think that the optics for season 2 is good, right, ladies or actor or whatever you want, whatever. It's good for next season. Next season's probably going to be better, in my opinion, for sure.
We're gonna have to wait 2 years, but yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But hey, they did. I think that at the end of the day, with what they were dealing with, the source material, meaning events, and how much people underestimate events not being story. I think that, they made decisions that you got to take your hits. Like I said, I've been saying, I'm not going to be redundant. You got to take your hits with these decisions. I think they took some brave decisions. They decided to tell us a very fleshed out story because they did not have to start this early back, in my opinion. Plenty of opportunity to start with just a few flashbacks of them as children. I thought they made the right choice there. The hits you take with it are the hits you take with it. And
it's not a perfect film, but a series, but no series is perfect. And honestly, for the first season of a show that had a lot to prove after the disaster that was season 8 of Game of Thrones, they did a damn good job. It pretty much saved the franchise.
Yeah, it's like putting a cast on some other guy's arm and me saying, fix my knee. Right? Like, because it's like, you fix something else, right? I'm like, fix my knee. They're like, oh, we got this other guy. So I'm like, good job. It's
I think Brian
but...
Condell did a really good job. And I was a big fan of Colony, which is one of his shows that he did. I really do think that in the behind the scenes, someone was saying the other day, I wish they would just stop the behind the scenes thing. It is a little bit, I don't know how I feel about the behind the scenes thing. I think behind the scenes is okay, but the after the episodes thing is maybe a little bit annoying.
Dan and Dave
and him being in his chair, kind of like this, stiff in his chair with that leather jacket on. I don't know. I'm not really crazy.
I was coming down pretty hard on that Tuesday. So when we made that decision, like I was like, fuck it, we got to roll. You know what I mean? Like the money's already been spent. Like I said, I was withdrawing pretty hard. I mean,
it's funny too, because I found a picture of him when I was looking at pictures of him in his leather jacket. I found a picture of him doing a behind the episodes of The Colony, which is the other show that I used to watch. And I really enjoyed that show because I didn't watch any of the behind the scenes. I got to do what I liked doing as a viewer, and I liked figuring it out on my own.
Yeah.
And I liked somebody not telling me what was actually happening in the show. And there's this really great quote from there's this band. I can't remember. What's the more cowbell band called, Justin?
Wait,
more cowbell.
So that was what were they doing for that song? That was
Don't Fear the Reaper. Who's that? You guys know?
The Doors? Is it the Doors? I can't remember.
No, it's not the Doors.
I'll look it up. We'll get it, but go ahead.
I saw them years ago in concert, and it was Blue Oyster Cult. Thank you. It was the only song I knew, Don't Fear the Reaper. So I got to see them in concert. My brother gave me these tickets, and he goes, here, go see this band. And I go, I don't know who they are. Like, I'm into 80s music. I have no idea who they are. But I went and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. But I remember years ago, they were saying that, the thing in the 80s and the 90s that was kind of a thing is people used to put in the song lyrics into the sleeves of the albums, right? So you take the record out of the album, and inside there would be the record lyrics, the lyrics of the songs. And so you would open it up and you take out your album and you listen to it and you'd sing along, kind of thing. And they said that they didn't like putting in the lyrics because they enjoyed the idea that people would listen to the songs and kind of interpret it the way that they thought it was, right? So, like, for instance, have you heard people think that the ants are my friends are blowing in the wind? It's actually, people think it's the ants are my friends, they're blowing in the wind, instead of the ants are my friends, it's blowing in the wind.
Yeah, I'm about to explode, Heidi, because I was DJing for 10 years.
Sail Away, the Enya song, Sail Away, Sail Away.
Yeah.
For the longest time. I have heard that song throughout my entire 29 years of life. It is only recently that I realized that she's actually saying sail away. I thought she was saying,
what did you think it was?
Sail away, sail away, sail. I thought it was
Sail
like
away, sail away.
So
Yeah.
the takeaway is this: the meaning
I
of
thought it
the
was
song.
a language.
Just,
Like literally.
just a city, yeah. Just a
But I
city boy, born and raised in East Detroit. I took the midnight train going, and there is no midnight train. They wrote that song when they're in Chicago. I was a DJ for 10 years. I played multiple instruments. I love music. The story is your own. The song is your own. The interpretation of the song that they wrote changes for them. It changes for everybody. It is for you to take and absorb yourself. And that's the Sausage in the Sausage Factory, right, Heidi? About hearing them pat themselves on the back. First off, what should I wear? Like leather jacket, bro. Bad choice.
And you have to be in a rigid chair. You have to be like this.
He's like, how do I look? They're like, terrible. He's like,
Logan.
roll.
He looks like Logan when he's being interrogated. Like he's like, there is no.
He said, how many did they kill in the first tourney of Game of Thrones? Or like half a guy. He's like, kill 10, motherfucker. But yeah, it's kind of patronizing, and it is what it is. But the story is your own. The song,
and that's what I mean. And then of course, it can be turned against you, like how they did with Dave and Dan about how Danny forgot. Like they can turn it. The people will turn it against you, and they can make you look really dumb. You know what I mean?
People write down the shit you say. It's terrible. They'll hold you to it. I hate it. I'm like, you bastards! Don't you get me with logic and truth, you dicks.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it is. I think you did a pretty
Isn't
decent.
Isn't that the line? Excuse me while I kiss this guy.
It's fun, yeah. I hope you're bringing a lot of
wrapped up like a douche.
Something.
I still don't know what the lyrics are for that song. That song is great. But the ants are my friends. They're blowing in the wind.
Yeah. But the song is yours. They want it. It is art. It is art. But there comes to a point. Yeah.
But I'm just imagining in the future, you get an electronic book, but from Amazon or wherever you get it from, it's on your thing, and you're reading it, and then after you read the book, the author comes in to explain to you all these things that you may not have been able to figure out. And I mean, it's sort of like, I think YouTube is sort of a sort of, I don't know what the word is,
conduit for that, but right.
Well, how they have an app, they always have a video that says
explain
20 things you didn't notice or you didn't see because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And you can figure it yourself because you're a moron.
Yeah. And the writer's telling you something, isn't that kind of cheating? Like, because they're like, no, you guys are just too stupid to get it. I'm like, no, you didn't do your job, asshole. You got to make everybody understand what you're doing. Like, there's always these points. It's like, oh, if the author had, like, when Westworld did their tour after season 2, like, they went around like England and the US, and they're like, we had to explain it to the fans. I'm like, yeah, because you didn't tell the story too good. That's why. Like, no good writer says I had to go and do a tour to explain my book. No, the book explains the book.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, but there's the things, and then the YouTube, we got to explain the things, you dum-dums. What are you going to watch a TV show and just think you can get it? No, you got to have a guy that made a Gmail get that for you. They got that.
You're starting to sound a little bit like Kanye West to me.
Really? That's not a good thing.
No, I'm just
joking.
Yeah. I mean, I think the people at the Gmail account should tell us what they know.
I
totally
out
of the 20 wrong.
I can't figure out where to put my earpiece. I was going to say also, like there's a new, it's funny, Justin, I tweeted about this. So there's I was just thinking about where this whole explainer thing feels to me very, how do I put this? The creators of Westworld, they're like sort of the epitome of that. They're just like super pompous. So anyway, there's a new show called Peripheral, which by the way,
looks good.
Michelle Clapton, costumer extraordinaire, is doing the costumes for it. And she's doing a great job because honestly, I can't even tell. I'm like, I haven't noticed the costume. So I'm like, man, she's doing an amazing job because it's contemporary. I mean, and she's doing
always.
You know what I mean? Like I kind of don't really notice. It just looks so natural and so normal, and everybody looks just real. You know what I mean? That's such a good job she's doing. So she's doing this new show called Peripheral, and it's the same producers as Westworld. So you got the Nolan and you got the Nolan wife, I guess. And
Lisa Joy.
She's her own person. Sorry.
She is.
She's not in that position because of marriage. Anyway,
No,
so
they take the storyboard, Heidi, and they do this. They say,
yes,
tell it
yes.
anyways. Tell it
Anyway,
backwards.
so
It'll be
I watched
better.
the first episode. Actually, I watched 2 episodes. The
Is it
second
good?
episode is a little bit sleepier on, but I watched the 2 episodes and I'm like, I feel like it's another park in Westworld. Like it's like they can't like find a new voice. They just seem to have to use that same sort of like, I don't know what it is about them. So
They're
so
very
it's sort of
prophetic.
these behind the scenes things sort of just remind me of all of that. It remind me of like, we need to explain everything to you. And I just like, I love the old days where I just be able to figure it out on my own or not figure it out on my own and kind of go a little crazy. Like did you guys remember that? Like when nobody was there to explain something to you?
It's power and ambiguity. It's why
you would go a
I
little
don't understand
nutty?
why you invite me on these streams, because I'm so negative, because I hate what I've become, because I look at myself as just some hack that's like, about story structure. It works with, less is more and all this bullshit. Like honestly, I feel like that's why I like editing for you, because you at least talk about how the costumes tell a story. That's actually a thing. Like that's a thing that like is a thing to talk about.
Imagination Realm and I are the same. Yeah, it's a good story, but I do have to rewatch it because I did fall asleep. So maybe it's a bit boring. But
maybe you weren't smart enough to stay awake.
Well, this is just
Nolan
it.
says.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that House of the Dragon, I don't think they need to be doing all the explaining. And I think I really just want to see it on camera. I want to see it explained on camera.
Because
and
don't tell. Number one rule of storytelling. Power and ambiguity. All these
Tatiana, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll probably still go watch all those things anyway. I will. Even if I'm like, okay, I already knew that. I go, oh, I figured that out on my own.
We don't have a lot of.
I must be super clever.
Yeah. There's nothing
Tatiana,
better than feeling reassured. Go ahead.
Can you please explain to me what you were saying, because I was looking at the chat. Sorry.
Oh, okay. In terms of when they have all these explainer videos, but mostly I'm not even the explainer videos I totally get because those are creators, right? But I'm talking about the producers themselves.
We know about money.
Doing these behind the scenes videos where they're like, well, Damon, Danny forgot, or just this is what was going on. And I'm like, dude, you're the one who wrote it. Like, why are you like explaining it to me? Like, that is something that's naturally current. Like, for instance, when they said, oh, this isn't Rainey's war. This isn't her war. She's not gonna put her neck out there for that. And I'm like, but you're the one who wrote it that way.
So shut up, Heidi. Shut up. That's not what we were trying to convey. Oopsie. Yeah.
You wrote it that way. That's like going, I'm trying to think of a comparison, but it's like, that was your idea for because I bought the idea that she wouldn't want to slaughter Allison's family because they're her family. Technically, she's related to them. She would be a kinslayer. I totally bought that idea. I bought that maybe she didn't want to, slaughter children. I don't even know. But when she went back and said, well, it's not my war, I was kind of like, okay, I don't know about that. And then
that's a weak excuse.
Yeah. And then the showrunner said, this isn't her war. And I'm like, well, you're telling me that because that's what you came up with. I don't know that that's naturally a thing that she actually thought.
Well, Sons of Anarchy, it's actually a lot about Hamlet and Duncan. So, sorry that went over your head there, dear, but, pretty high level stuff here. All right.
Yeah. I mean, Daenerys
but also she came out of the floor for God's sakes, and she killed all those people.
Killed a lot of people.
Kill a lot of people.
So, and also, Tatiana, remember we were speaking about outfits earlier? How is it that she ended up in that outfit again? The one that she left back in King's Landing?
Again, Eric came to her to help her escape, and she said, give me 5 minutes, help me to my armor, and then we can leave.
Yeah, and then one of the or unless that was what she wore under the armor, maybe she wore that under the armor. But then one of my this is how fans explain things to me. They'll say something like, "Well, she really liked that outfit, so she just had someone make her another one."
That's true.
That's how they explain it to me.
That's a very good point.
And I mean, all through 7 and 8, we had Danny wearing these outfits, and we never knew how she even they never showed anyone getting her dressed.
They never showed Frank, the dressmaker.
They never showed. They never, at least in like they have a great scene in Marie Antoinette where they show the wig maker coming and doing her wigs and stuff, and the dressmakers and the shoe people all coming to her and showing her all the different outfits. But in this, you never got to see Danny getting dressed. You never got to see her handmaidens or her.
Got to see her undressed, to be fair, which was important.
When? And when she got out of the tub?
Yeah, she had the. I was like, good.
Well, that's when she was with. She did have that, but like I'm talking about when she got to Dragonstone, they didn't show anything. They didn't
I know. I was annoyed. I was like, "Where's the bats? Come on, guys.
Where is everything? And by the way, did you see Rhaenyra's bedroom? That is the
it's
fucking bedroom. That bedroom is terrible. It's super drafty.
Also, if you notice the dragon on the wall. That's the same room where the painted table is going to end up in Game of Thrones. That's the council room.
It's like going into a girl's room and she has a fish tank and an ashtray.
Oh, thank God there is.
Not good. You're like,
well, Joffrey even had a tailor. Joffrey had a tailor that he would be like, get out of here. And his mother would sit there going, "Oh, what do you think?"
But you know how costumes are used in the story, though, Heidi. You know that they show that anybody that cares about how they look, the vanity, right? It's usually if you have a dresser or any type of dressmaker, whether it's somebody that dresses them or a maker, is usually shown in a negative depiction, right? It's like, look at this vain, all in. Exclusively this person that self-important, right?
And at least we know that Sansa made her own dresses.
Yeah. See, I thought that was really well done. And even like I loved kind of how what's her name? Arya kind of did her own knots on her dresses, and she did them really sloppy and they were kind of messy.
Yeah, she wasn't good at anything, but good thing she learned magic, all you empowerment people about Arya. She yelled at Sansa for learning how to do stuff and having to actually deal with shit, and she didn't get to go learn magic on a magical island and then come back and have a bunch of people die for her. Everybody's like, Arya's so strong. I'm like, yeah.
There was a terrible meme or something on Twitter that said that Dany got that coat made from lady's fur.
Dude, Sansa can do way more than Arya. Any day. Okay?
Yeah. No. Anyways, Rhaenyra's bedroom is terrible. I saw this picture. I don't know if it was you, Tatiana, who showed me the picture of her bedroom. Was it you? And it's just basically like a stone room. And then there's a bed in there and a couple of pieces of furniture. There's no drapes or anything. It's just like, who the fuck would want to sleep in that bedroom? It's terrible.
I mean, if there's a storm, those drapes aren't gonna do shit.
Yeah, and Dany was born in Storm. Wasn't she born on Dragonstone during the storm?
Stormborn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe her mother went down and had the baby on the table by the fireplace.
That room is basically Rhaenyra's room is basically the future council room for Daenerys. Because
I think it's better as I don't know why they decided to change that and have the council room be downstairs.
Where's the room where Gendry got raped? Which one is that?
They were weren't they like in a pile of like, where were they? He didn't get raped. What are you talking about?
Excuse me?
Who got raped?
Gendry? He got seduced, maybe.
Oh, okay. No, I'm joking.
Oh wait, why?
Gendry and Arya. Where did they do it? They were like on a. Were they on a sack of potatoes or something?
Missandei.
Missandei.
Not Melisandre. Jesus, I got to get off here.
Melisandre. They did it on the table. They did it. Yeah. So, but the table was upstairs in her bedroom, which is all open. There's no. I mean, I noticed that in the castles. It's so weird. They have windows in the castles with no, like, even no lead glass or anything. It's just all open. It's super weird.
I think they're trying to go into like the Norman type of castle where it was like all open air. The glass wasn't really a thing yet, as though for windows apparently.
Yeah, it's sort of strange, but I think they did have shutters and stuff that would close.
Yeah,
right?
Glass is just for candles. It's just for candles. In the Sound of Ice and Fire. I'm going to take that note down. Thank you, Natural Selection. That is a pretty good slate. No, Glass is just for candles. I said something about a girl with a fish tank in her room, but fish tanks are inherently nasty.
Well, I live in Canada. I can't even imagine having windows open all the time. That would just be like, that would be hell.
Fish just,
I mean, I would be like,
if you I mean, if you see like Winterfell, they're in the northernmost part, and they have open floor. I mean, and open windows. But that's that's because the castle is self-heating because it's on top of hot springs.
Yeah, but it's a buyer's market. You know what I mean? They're gonna get that open floor plan.
And they were just going into winter.
Yeah, it's
by the way, how long is the season in Game of Thrones?
How many episodes? 10 until they quit.
No, I don't mean like a season on a TV show. I mean how long is a season? Like spring, summer,
fall?
Oh,
it differed.
Yeah.
They didn't have a truce. Yeah.
What season are they in?
Wait.
Right now.
Right now, I don't. Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, I don't know.
Not winter, obviously. That's about it.
Spring, summer.
Oh, natural selection saying 3 or 4 years.
Sprawl. No, it's more than that because like Bran hadn't seen. Yeah.
Karen's saying they needed more room for their cameras, so they moved the table to the bigger room. Okay.
Sharon says, "Shut up." They made it work. She's right.
No, I'm just wondering what season it is right now because there's been some weirdness with the clothing,
like, the costumes.
Like, yeah, I can't figure out what time of year it is.
Because like first episode, Rhaenyra has short sleeves. Then they have like long sleeves. So and Allison has the capelet with the fur, which so I'm guessing it's at least fall. And then it goes up, and I think it's maybe like spring. And
Sarah says it's been May for 20 years. So this is the thing. Like I mean, they must have figured it out. They must have been like, okay, this is like, because the last episode felt like it must be at least fall.
I don't know. I mean, they didn't have a great. I mean, Julius Caesar understood it was fucking October, not December, and that's how he got his fleet across the Greece because Pompey's people thought it was fucking winter. Because guess who took care of the months? Julius Caesar, the guy they had a civil war with. So they were fucked because they couldn't figure it out. So yeah, people are pretty. Yeah, it's like he's like they think it's fucking December.
You know, the cesarean section is named after him.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
so we can thank that mother and that MO. Yeah. For what happened to poor Emma.
But I think I'm going to be hitting that old dusty trail, so I wasn't planning on coming on. It's been a blast talking about the show. I thought it was all thumbs up. I thought it was awesome. I thought everything was great about it. I thought it was brave.
Liar.
And I just really liked everything about it. And like me. Enjoy me. Have a good perception of me, please. And that's about it. But no, it was pretty good. It was entertaining. The Star Wars universe has been far more entertaining for me lately, to be fair. And I used to give zero shits about Star Wars literally like 2 years ago. Now I've actually been finding joy, probably because I just don't make content about it. So it's just something relaxing.
Well, I know, but Robert always talked about how King's Landing, you know, how it's really warm and all the women were dressed like scantily and all that.
Yeah, but he's a drunken idiot.
I guess so. But, you know, I don't know. He's not
at Channel 7
because that's one thing I can usually kind of it always sort of helps me with like the costumes or the time of year, the seasons. I can usually go, okay, well, it's this season, so that makes sense to me. But I have no idea, and this is just something that just came up to me now.
Somebody said, Justin, why'd you leave the week before last? Because that stream was like 6 hours long, and I left in the 5th hour. Like, honestly, I don't support any of this.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like the Mediterranean in the summer. Okay, but right now, do you guys think that right now that the end of the season is probably like fall because of the way they were dressed and everything?
I guess.
You have to let me know.
I
have no. Yeah, I mean, what indicator do we have?
I mean, Miss Saria, she still wears like short sleeves, and she only had like a wrap around her.
When did we see them in summer? Did we see them in summer? What is like? Where's our starting
honestly, I think the most obvious season they showed was season 3 when they go on the hunt, and they're obviously wearing like warm clothing, and the trees are look like they're starting to wilt and turn red.
I thought the first episode was summer because we see
Rhaenyra
is wearing short sleeves, and we see even Alicent is wearing like a thinner fabric, and they're sitting outside under the weirwood tree, and it just seemed to be like summer to me.
Yeah, they should have more like narrative like pinpoints. They should be like, I'm sure glad it's April next month. I'm looking.
King's Landing is like San Diego.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's always sunny in San Diego.
Yeah, they should throw some big, indicators. They forgot to tell us. They kind of forgot about seasons, which in A Song of Ice and Fire isn't a big deal.
Danny kind of forgot.
Yeah, it happens. They're like, oh shit, seasons are a
thing. Danny, remember Danny about the Iron Fleet?
Yeah, she
We'll
forgot
never
about
forget.
your
I think they made it pretty clear they didn't want to make it clear. Is my point.
Yes.
Like they made it pretty
Yeah.
clear they didn't want to make it clear.
I
That should
still
be good
so
enough.
anyways, I still want somebody to do a Ryan Condal parody. I pray someone does it. Maybe Ryan George will do it. That would be so funny. I should message him and ask him to do it. Oh,
Do
and
you have
not like
direct
I have
contact with him?
not
I
like
would love-
no, I don't know him at all.
There's only 3 of you.
I'm a YouTuber. Maybe
Right.
he'll listen to me. I'll be like, listen, Ryan. I felt like Canadian to a Canadian here. I'll send you some maple syrup in exchange for. I actually have it. I do actually have a contact. I think I told you guys.
You have contact?
Ooh.
I do. I'm doing this event with this company that are apparently the largest purchaser of maple syrup in the world.
Are they the same company that
Ooh.
made the logo and all that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Justin. You know who they are. And it's a secret.
The big maple people. They're in the big maple.
It's like a
business.
cartel. It was funny. Did I tell you this, Justin? I don't know if I told you this. So I'm in a meeting, and I was mentioning to you guys earlier that one of my clients are food science people, and I'm in this meeting, and one of the guys in the meeting says, "Oh, by the way, I just want you to let you know that those the Maple Federation, they're actually a cartel." And they control prices on maple syrup.
Oh my God.
Just something to keep in mind. And I'm like, holy shit, there's a maple syrup cartel in this country.
All I
always
can
have to
say-
get
It's
back
the
to
liquid gold. It's
Hey,
liquid.
and I
Yes, it's
followed
big
the
maple,
rules more than
big
you guys
maple.
did. I'm just saying that. I was a stickler about them. So like with changing, they
they got mad. They got mad. They were going to send out some. They were going to send out Tony Soprano to rough you up there, Justin.
Not me. Why would they be? I
They were gonna
abided by
me.
their PDF, so it's on you guys.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
see.
so
I don't know, I'm
she's
just-
cartel.
Well, how do you think you got so many holes?
I'm not. The thing that's so funny about that is that it's not even a joke. It's actually true.
I've been paid money by them.
There's
Yeah,
there's a milk thing up here too. There's a weird milk thing as well. There's a
you
big
guys have
milk
weird
monopoly.
terms for things. Like like everything.
Milk.
The Federation. Like when I heard that, I was like, why are you calling it?
They're
that?
calling it. Yeah, doesn't it
Yeah.
sound serious? They're called a federation.
And then
for
whatever
God's
you're
sakes.
calling
They're
also,
not like,
yeah.
oh, we're the maple syrup folks or something.
Council.
No, they're the federation.
The Federation of Maple. It's
Yeah,
like,
that
holy
sounds like
shit.
they probably are big, like they buy guns from like
I
the
am the
Middle East or something.
Federation. Yeah, it's like the Sith Lord. It's like, my God. It's like, why? How did you get this? Yeah, and also with the thing
Yeah.
with the when I said about
Sarah, we do have
yeah.
bag milk. We do. It's weird.
No, they do. Everything's in a bag in
Yeah,
Canada.
and apple cider. You can buy apple cider in a bag as well up here.
There's 2 guys in Canada. One sells cider, one sells milk. So
Yeah, it's
Big
very
guy.
weird. Yeah, I'm working in the syndicate. I'm in connected Carl. So anyway, so should we wrap things up then? Tatiana
Probably.
has to get back to her costume. It's if she's doing a couture. She's doing a couture.
Yeah.
This
is-
what is I
fashion.
edit a lot of your videos. I'm ashamed to say. What does couture mean? I don't know.
It means couture. It's like high fashion.
High fashion.
Really?
Or
Made-
haute
That's what I
couture means
thought.
high fashion.
I
Yeah.
always associate
Yeah,
it with that, so I
unique.
guess it works. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is the skirt that I made for the dress. It's also my banner for in support of Rhaenyra for now.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Thanks. It took me
What kind of fabric
so
did you
long.
use on that? Is it like silk or synthetic?
This is moire taffeta,
Mhm.
neoprene, and the base
Oh.
is I don't remember the name. I don't know the name of it in English. They call it raso in Spanish. Let me see if I can find it. And then the thing that does the behind. God, I suck with names with the fabric names. I swear. Yeah, it's also pongee for like to clean it up. Yeah.
Tatiana, are you wearing it or are you making it for a model?
I'm making it for a model. I cannot wear this. I do not fit at all. I'm also too short for it apparently. Let me see if I can find the name.
Yes, I actually, Carl, I did read that cheese is the most forged plagiarized food in the world.
Carl's going to be found, and they're going to be like, he ran his mouth about cheese. He got what was coming to him. Ran against the big cheese.
Actually, cheese is the most stolen item. I think I read.
I'm lactose intolerant. I don't care.
It's stolen. Well, there you could probably eat goat cheese though.
No, I don't want weirder cheese. The answer to I don't like cheese isn't weirder cheese, Heidi.
Well,
Oh,
I
you
would
like more
say-
disgusting cheese? It's like no,
No,
I eat
goat
cheese
cheese
on
is
top.
good. It's
Shredded
good.
cheese. No, I do eat feta. I'm not like
Okay.
okay. I don't like I can't eat a cold sandwich with like American sliced cheese.
Sure.
And I don't drink white milk. I drink chocolate milk. I'm like a 5-year-old.
Oh, Sabrina says Raso is satin.
Oh, thank you, Satin. Thank you, Sabina. So I use satin
Bueno trabajo.
for the stuffing. I don't know how to say that in English. The thing that you use, the fabric that you use to
The
clean up
fullness?
here. No, the
To
Well,
stiffen it, sort of? To stiffen it?
well, there's also armor here to stiffen the moire. But I mean to do the inside of a skirt to like clean up the inside to not make it look dirty. I don't know how you say that in Spanish.
Oh, like
Oh,
line it? Line
The
it?
lining. The lining.
Yes.
The lining is Ponji. Thank you, Natural Selection. See, I really suck with memory names.
Necesita mota? Donde estás mota?
And no, 30 days. You will never see me wearing this because I do not fit in it. It is for a skinty model. And I am many things. Skinny is not one of them. I mean,
Yeah,
look
but
skinny.
you're making it for a model, so you're making it right. You know what I mean, right? Like it would be rude
Yeah,
if you didn't make it for them.
But now, Tara, if you ever have you ever had feta? Because a lot of feta is goat cheese feta. You may not have even known that you had it.
I actually had a vegan feta, and it was surprisingly good. I was surprised.
Yeah, I've had some vegan cheese, and it's pretty good.
All I'll say is whatever the chat thinks, I'm pretty much with them.
And
pick me up.
but sometimes one thing doesn't translate to the other language, and sometimes my brain speaks in English, and other times it speaks in Spanish. Being bilingual is not easy, okay?
That's true. There is a little. Okay, I concur with that. There is a little bit of an aftertaste. That's why you need to finish off like a goat cheese with a different cheese. Cancel out
a
the
cheese
flavor.
chaser. So when you start getting the cheese chasers, I think you've gone
Yeah.
too far. I don't care how tango hombre you are. Lo siento, not Karen, okay?
Tango hombre.
Tango hombre, I'm hungry. Tango hombre, I'm hungry.
Tango hombre. Not lambre, it's hambre.
Okay, I'm very, very stupid and very,
No,
very
not all.
English,
No, not all
yeah.
feta is goat feta. Yeah.
Sorry, lo siento.
Most of it isn't. It's cow's milk feta.
Like like some time ago, I literally forgot the Spanish word for table.
You
And
live
what
in a
is it?
Spanish-speaking province.
It's
so I don't
mesa.
know
What is the word?
Mesa.
Mesa.
La mesa. Yeah, mesa is Spanish for table. And I literally forgot. I was like, what is that word? I cannot remember for the life of me.
In French, it's table, though, because it's like I always remember vina table as table wine. La
Sure.
palabra que bilingual when I drink, but I don't realize it. Haha. Then eventually I just go full Spanish. Really? 30 days? I didn't know you could speak Spanish.
I can say phrases. I can't. I'm not. Yeah, there's a difference. Like I can only say phrases like necesita this, stuff like that.
Tengo que ir al baño.
Like lo siento, bueno trabajo, no más hermano is what I used to say at work. Like good work, no, because my brother was the boss. I was like, no más brother, bueno trabajo, necesita mota, cuánto es dinero, stuff like that. But that's about it. They say stuff back to me in English.
That's adorable.
Yeah. No, but I'm your typical guy that's trying to speak. I'm butchering it. Yeah, but hey, at least I'm trying. At least I tried.
Actually, it's funny, Justin, because years ago I took German in high school. I was like, oh, I should go back to doing German because after I did the Empress video, I was like, I love it. It's such a great language.
It's not a romantic.
I learned Italian in college, and I've forgotten most of it. I can talk like a little bit, but I've forgotten most of it because it gets a lot harder as it goes on, and I just haven't had the practice, which sucks.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, so why don't we wrap up because it's almost 10, and then we're gonna do. I'll have to let you know in later on. We're probably Justin. I was saying this before you came on. We're looking at doing an end of the season wrap up, like spectacular, and invite everybody back who was a guest on the show. And
for what this? For this show?
Yes.
We'll do a live stream.
I thought you were doing that for Lord of the Rings.
No, no, for House of the Dragon.
Oh.
In a couple of weeks.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. No.
Well, yeah, we're gonna wait a few weeks because everyone's tired. Everyone's pooped.
Yep.
This has been working a lot.
Yes.
And Justin, by the way, so before we go, by the way, Justin did a beautiful he just produced a really beautiful video on the Empress for me. So that's out, just came out this morning. So if anybody wants to check it out, Tatiana. Yeah, it's a real. Did you watch the whole show?
Of course, I watched the whole show.
Did you like it or?
I liked it. I wasn't like impressed with like the story, but the costumes were so worth it.
Yeah, I'm weird about it. Like
it was costume porn at its best.
It's not really. It's kind of like it kind of reminded me of like a Harlequin romance.
I don't know what's wrong with it though, because something's wrong with it because it's porn for me. Though honestly, that type of period stuff is like because nobody's talking about it until now. I didn't have to do any content about it, right? But which I'm fine doing. But it's like I love, you know me, Heidi. I love a period piece like that. Like I can just watch and enjoy it. So something about it. It wasn't like it was bad, but something puts me off about it. I don't know what it is.
I think it's because it's so tropey. Because she's not like other girls. She's the weird girl. She's like
she's got paint on her overalls,
like a wild horse. She's like a wild horse that they're trying to tame.
And then also Maximilian being like the younger brother vying for the throne, and I'm like, this bitch. What the fuck are you gonna do with the throne? Okay, you get crowned. Now what? Do you know foreign politics?
It's the second brother syndrome. We've been talking about this.
Yes.
It's the second brother syndrome.
It's called
he was an interesting character, though. I kind of liked him. I thought he was an interesting character.
He was definitely fun. He was a lot more fun than Franz.
He had a fish tank and an ashtray.
Franz is boring.
As we all like.
He had all that and horse. And also her sister. Like, oh my God, that wig. That wig.
Bad.
Oh
yeah.
No.
Apparently that was true though. Apparently this is sort of an example of they're taking some actual, portions of history. And apparently he did they were saying because they didn't have other clothes other than the morning clothes. Like it was true about the losing the trunks. And so she showed up and she was in black, and apparently it didn't look very good on her. It wasn't very attractive for her. And so he immediately looked at Cece. He was just like, oh yeah. But again, they were young, right? They were really young. She was only 16.
Yeah. Carl, I like you. You are the worst person.
He loved
the worst person. I like it.
What's that?
At least I think like he loved her, like Franz loved her, but she didn't necessarily love him in real life. I know at least by the time they had like kids, she really didn't give a shit about him. She would just leave, just like stay as far away from the palace as possible for as long as possible. Like didn't care.
It's kind of like the mom Sophie with the dad. She was stay here tonight. Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I got things going on.
Well, I'm glad they'll hear that they didn't love each other. You heard it first here. But no, I something off was off. I think Tatiana might be right though on that. Maybe.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, no. This is in the 1800s, so it was still pretty young, but yeah.
Also the head housekeeper, who I think is the housekeeper, like the head lady in waiting to Sophie. Oh my God, her hair. Her like gigantic bouffant that just like it's like she was literally trying to become the physical embodiment of a tower. She wanted
it was funny too because they really made her look unattractive, and I saw pictures of her and she's actually super cute in real life.
When I was editing all those portraits,
Justin saw those pictures.
We do have an actual show question on here before we go. We should go to after. Do you think blood and cheese happens because Helena's kids are actually Aemons? That's why ... Quote,
well, that's
son for a son.
We don't know.
Well, we know the events that are depicted in the books. We don't know the motivations behind them, so she's asking us to speculate.
I don't know. I will wait until season.
It does seem like he fancies her though, which is weird. Like just already, that the whole thing is weird, right?
I think, a wink and a nod is all you need for that. I don't think that you'd have any. I find it hard to believe you'd ever get like. I get what you're saying, and that because there's motivation there, right? So like, but I think that the show would never go that deep to like give us confirmation. But I'm with you.
They'll do
like,
a behind the scenes.
I mean-
on your train
like-
of thought. To be fair, I'm with you.
They'll be like, in case you didn't notice, those children
No.
actually are, Eamon's
Honestly,
children.
Yeah, and you're fine. We're not. It's not
that
spoilers. You're good.
I don't think Rhaenyra even knows that Rhaenyra or Damon knows that Helena's kids are Aemons or Aegons. I don't think she cares. She just wants son for a son.
Yeah, obviously they're being pretty laissez-faire 60% of the time, or all the time with all of this. But no, I'm with, and you're not spoiling anything. This is something that you're picked up on from the source material that is talked about within the fandom.
It'd be interesting if they decided not to do it.
I just don't think that they will go that. I don't think they'll deep dive like that, right?
Mhm.
Like there's no, I don't see the real, I don't see that as a realistic thing. But I like, because I get the train of thought. The train of thought's on. Like there's, with the way the Macers talk about everything, that's in there. So that's
And besides, I much prefer shipping Aemon with Damon because it makes sense. Damon.
It's a good, see, that's a fun question. That's what I look at as like the fun part of doing content is stuff like that. Like that's a fun question there, even though it's like kind of like fucked up, obviously what happens, but like that's like speculation that is better left unsaid. Again, power and ambiguity. So like we can have this story in our head because there is the signs of it, but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. I have to say, like, so my most popular video of all time, which is super weird, is Logan's Run. And the reason that it's the most popular video of all time, it's not that the costumes are great or anything. It's just that everybody who loved that movie also was in love with Jenny Agutter, who played the main character. So I'm getting all these people like commenting on the video about because they love Jenny Agutter. But the one thing that's so strange is that the movie is like from 1977 or something, or 1976. And people are still speculating on what is going on there. And I kind of love that. I love that people are speculating on a movie that is like 50 years old.
It's crazy when I log in to upload on the channel, Heidi. It's crazy when I hit to upload and I look at the notifications. There's questions, like there's comments on like these videos, right? But then there's 15 comments on Logan's Run, 30 comments on the Star Wars video, right? Like of these people, like there is so many, like within the last 12 hours. The backlog.
It's so weird. Like, so what happened was my Logan's Run video, like it kind of went down for a while, and now it's like going crazy. And I'm getting all these comments, and most of them are from guys, and they were like, I think the carousel is actually a metaphor for this thing, And I'm like, I don't know. I really have no idea. They have all these theories about Logan's Run and stuff like that. So I was thinking it might be interesting if Logan's Run had come out now, like to see what people would say about it.
Yeah.
But like, for instance, one of the things that people were really getting angry at me about is, so when they did the movie, there's a lot of sexually explicit scenes in the movie, and there's a lot of sort of almost partial nudity, and it's very sexually fluid, like, it's not gendered.
Is it exploitative?
Well, it's not even really gendered, really, like how, it's like kind of non-gendered in many ways. Like you're kind of like with a partner, but it doesn't really matter. You might be in a threesome, or you might be in a fivesome, or what have you.
Orgy.
Yeah.
You might find yourself in one heck of a good time.
It's kind of like very hedonistic because you only live till you're 30. So people are like living their best life kind of thing. And I was saying at the time, like that was actually pretty, crazy, like that it hadn't really, at the time for cinema, that they hadn't really done anything like that in a show before. But people were kind of like, I didn't explain it properly. I think people thought I meant at the time, which would have been like Woodstock or something like that. So they're like, what are you talking about? There's lots of stuff going on. And I'm like, no, I meant like on cinema. It's kind of like the same idea in Star Trek. They had a black man and a black woman together. That was like, unheard of. Like nobody had ever seen a black man and a black woman together in a movie, right? Or in a show, I should say. Like even me, like when I was 10, I went to Kitchener, which is this town near me, and my girlfriend.
I thought you actually meant Kitchener, like
Kitchener, Waterloo. And
Yeah.
my girlfriend at the time, she was Indian, so we went to her aunt and uncle's. And I remember I went to her aunt and uncle's house to stay for the weekend. And her aunt was Indian, and her uncle was Indian. Her aunt was white, and I was like, oh my god! Like I never seen. This sounds crazy by this day and age. I had never seen a mixed marriage before. And then maybe another year later, I had a friend who had two moms. Like, you know, her mom was divorced and her friend's mom was divorced. So they lived together kind of like Haight and Alley. But at the time I was like, I don't know, they're two divorced women living together, I guess. But that was probably, you know, so in those days we didn't really have that. So sort of that's what I was saying about Logan's Run, that in those days they didn't show stuff like that on film. So I remember when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, like, what is this? You know, like, and I think that's what happened with a lot of teenage boys. They probably watched it and were like, whoa, like, this is crazy. You know, they had like a sex salon that they went to.
Well, there's a thing here, and this will be my final thought, and this is something I believe in deeply. It's the only thing that keeps me motivated to do anything that talks about story other than my editing, you know, ventures, is that we cite story for life far more than we cite life for story. This is proven. Meaning, when you go on your first date, you think about the sitcoms you watch, maybe on TGIF Friday, depending on what generation you're on, for what's going to happen. Not the stories. You didn't ask your mom and dad about their first date, right? You cite story for life. You don't cite life for story. Okay. So, and then I also have a fun theory, which makes me just a whole type of insufferable. I think fandoms ruin everything. I think we would have probably had Wins of Winter 3 years ago if we wouldn't have been us, like, honestly. And it's not our fault, but it's like when everybody is able to give this opinion, we kind of like, it's a double-edged sword. We make people insecure. I think George got very insecure about the story after the backlash. I think like that these fandoms, like Heidi's talking about these, because you look and you see your videos, the backlog does, so these older projects get way more interaction because they didn't have that. But the point is, they didn't have it, so they want it again. Like, you have this withholding and all this, less is more, and, you know, like all this traditional marketing stuff. But besides that, there's not all these people that when these films launch, like you're saying, Heidi, that were there to talk about it, right? Publicly. Like, they didn't have the medium like social media has now for us to do. So now it's so much that it becomes, I think that creators listen too much to what happens on social media. I think that the best stuff comes from people that just block it out. And God forbid, how do you even do that? Right. You know, like, I'm not even saying it's realistic. So I know I sound like I'm contradicting myself and all that, but we cite story for life. And honestly, all of our analysts of this stuff makes it better, and we make excuses for people. But I think we also affect the art to the point where it just becomes fan filth. Like, like it really does.
I think that's a good place to stop, guys.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to. I only wanted to add that the dragon chase scene looks like it would be a great ride on Disney, like a really good Disney ride. Like, can you just imagine like one of those like VR says things that you, and then you go like woo from like in like MGM or something? It would be really fun.
That'd be really fun.
You, Tatiana. Yeah,
I remember I went to Universal Studios and my favorite ride was the Back to the Future ride, and you're actually in the DeLorean and you go inside of a dinosaur's mouth and then you come back out. And I remember thinking that was the best ride ever. So that would totally be an amazing ride.
Yeah, because like the ending of the ride would literally be like Vhagar just going whoa, like, ah! That was very Jurassic Park ride when the comes out.
And I think HBO is owned by Warner Brothers. Do they have a theme park?
No, HBO is Warner Brothers is. I'd have to look under. No, I don't think Warner. Yeah, no, wait. Who's Universal under? It's under MGM, right?
I don't know. I thought MGM was.
All I know is that you can't have a show that's depicting a bunch of like miscarriages and then have a theme ride. You got to pick one. Okay, so like that's where I call them out. Pick one. So like, you know what I mean? So, like,
oh my God.
See you later. See you next time. All right. Have a good time. All right. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody. Okay. So Tatiana, say where you are, who you are. Justin, and then Justin, you say who you are and where you are and where you can be found, or unless you don't want to be found.
Well,
you Tatiana.
On like Instagram, Tatiana Melendez PR. I am rarely, if ever, in there. But if you still want to go take a look, go ahead. It's barely anything in there, but you know, go off. You do you. You can also see my blog, tatianamelendez.com. There I have my designs, my performance videos, performing photos, all that good stuff. And I'm usually here with Heidi on the live stream if she invites me and she's not being all snooty.
That's right. In my moments.
Yeah. I'm usually either on the live streams or in the comments. So yeah.
Yeah, and I was saying we're gonna do a spectacular end of the season wrap up, maybe in a few weeks after everyone's recovered. We're gonna work on that and then we'll promote it. And I was thinking if we could do it on Saturday would be good. You know, we could do it like a Saturday late afternoon, early evening, and then into whenever, and then we can have guests kind of come in throughout the stream. And who said that they wanted to join us? Who said? Oh, is it Natural Selection? I think you said you wanted to come in, right?
I had it set up for the Westworld after show where we could do people, and I can show you like a good way to like have people cycle through.
Oh, Valerian said Rhaenyra got crowned in my home country, Portugal. That scene was made in Monsanto, Portugal. Simply amazing. The place where they make the funeral of their unborn child in episode 10. Amazing. Thanks for sharing that with us.
I saw in the behind the scenes that they filmed there and that they couldn't, it was inaccessible by car. So the cast all had to hike up in the morning to the place, and then they had to helicopter all the props and everything else.
Yeah, everyone's really into the idea. I kind of like the idea of doing Reigns the Castamere the ride, but maybe we so far we've got like a musical. We're gonna do a musical. Fandom is a sword without a hilt. So far we're gonna do a musical and we're gonna do a theme park or / theme ride. So those are the you know. So I will and then I'll message Ryan George. He doesn't know me, so he probably won't listen to me.
That's gonna be tight.
That's so tight.
That's tight.
Yeah. What were we going to talk about? We wanted him to do a parody of what? What did we want him? Oh, I wanted him to do a parody of.
You wanted Ryan Condal to be
behind
ridiculed.
The scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll do it.
Send me a video of him. I haven't seen much of it, but it's always ridiculous. So even if he's a little bit,
and then Miguel is always kind of looking off, like Ryan's always like stiff, like in his chair, and then Miguel is always like looking off, like.
Well, Miguel has a sense of mystery about him. Like he has a look, because he's not like, you know, like Ryan Condal's American, you know, so like he's just like, I'm in a leather jacket. We were all fucked up the night before, so we decided to film the fucking dragons. Be like, fuck yeah, man. But like Miguel can be like classy in a way that English, like Americans think things are classy, which means anything but us.
It's a bit of a
yeah. I'm like, ooh, must be fancy.
Well, it's funny because actually, I don't know, you know, I went looking for this and they've taken it down. I don't know if you guys have seen this. So years and years ago, SNL did a parody of Game of Thrones, having a creator being a 16-year-old teenage boy with braces. That I think it was like Adam Sandberg or something played him, and it was like a horny teenager. Like, do you know what I'm talking about, Tatiana? It was like this horny teenager directing Game of Thrones with all the sex scenes and everything like that. I went looking for it like about 2 or 3 years ago, and it's gone. They have like completely stripped it.
They've Stalined a lot of things.
Apparently HBO, I read later that HBO got them to take it down.
Dude, they seriously Stalin things. Like they got a lot off. Like it's weird how much they got off. I'm surprised HBO would be loyal to them to do that. It makes HBO look bad. But anyways, have a fun time. I said Stalin, so that's always good to bring up. But yeah, we need to go, Heidi.
Oh yeah, so Justin, sorry, just say goodbye then, and then we'll go, and then we'll
goodbye.
Be done. You don't want to say who you are or anything?
Like me, I'm a person you like. Thank you.
He's on Twitter. He's on like YouTube.
I like what you like, whatever you believe.
Yeah. Okay. He's on. I don't have you in the description because I didn't know you were coming. It was.
I didn't know I was coming either. You called me on my way home. So okay, bye. I like you. You like me.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Okay. All right. So thanks everyone for coming out tonight. We love you, and we'll let you know when the spectacular is coming. Carl Karsnark will keep you abreast of what's happening there. Okay, so bye everybody. Good night, Sabina. Tara Incognita, Sharon. Bye, everyone. Mike Boy, Sarah Scott. Bye. All right, we're ending. Woo!